on Pike. So far, it's a picture. So far, it's just they know some guy, or it's I'll see it when I see it. Hope it's good, basically. But he looks the part, and he really, really, really wanted him to look like Jeffrey Hunter. They have to do his hair right, the uniform right, and the bridge should have them little fucking stupid mini TV monitors on an angle poise thing. Yeah, if it looks like it did in the original pilot, then I'll be very happy. Because I'm saying that though, this is 10 years before the events of the Cage. That the Enterprise is damaged or nearly destroyed, so they have to rebuild it, and they rebuild it closer. I would add a bit of credence in there. I'd accept that. I'm looking forward to Discovery Season 2. Those were very, very, very short, long burn. The slow burn, rather, should I say. They were quite... yeah, fucking hell, is this... all right, Emily. So, yeah. Anywho, this is after the Cage. Interesting. And on that note, I'm going to have to go.
This thing's gonna be some junk. Oh, come on. Hello again. Yes. Back. Right, hello everyone. Yeah, sorry, I'm just sorting out the links. I'm sorry, I had to desperately go to the loo, so I had to divide this into two different live streams. See if Sam comes back. Maybe our friend Tony might be.
Lawrence.
Hi Sam, you back?
I'm back. How are you? How are things?
I'm good, yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that. I was desperate to go to the loo.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, Tony might be coming on with us. Yeah.
I still have this nice Easter egg left. Which,
oh, you haven't eaten it yet?
No, yet, no. I've almost eaten all the truffles, though. I've still got a few of these left.
Oh, yeah, they are lovely, aren't they? Is that the Lindor one?
Yeah, damn, I love Lindor. The orange ones are nice as well. Really nice. Yeah, I was thinking.
Got someone.
Hey, Tony!
Tony!
All right.
God, we're joined by the infamous Tony.
We are. Yes, you are. 1 second. There we go. Let's put that into the stand.
So,
and here we are.
What have you been up to?
Fucking working, mate.
Well, yeah, same here. So nothing new there, then.
No, yes, working and
working.
Playing fucking this. It's driving me mad.
Oh, that is a great game.
Oh, I know it is.
I haven't got it. I haven't got that one. I've got all of them apart.
Get it. What else have I been playing? Hang on. I've got my games here. Hang on one sec. I've been playing. No, that's not. Oh, they've all fallen down. Oh, fucking hell. You know when you go grab something and it all falls down?
Yes. I know what that's like.
Been playing a lot of that recently as well.
Oh, nice one. That is a great game. I'm stuck on one of the bosses. I've been for months.
Ah, well, I've not got that far yet. Cause I've played a bit of it, but you've been playing mostly Batman, and I finally got my hands on this bad boy.
Yeah, I've had that for ages. Good game.
Yeah.
Really good game. Very cheap.
And of course, this as well. This is if you want survival horror, fucking get
got
the
it. Love it. Really,
yeah, really,
yeah, it is the definition of survival horror. That is brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah. And it feels like, even though it's different to all the other Resident Evil games, it feels like Resident Evil. It's real weird.
It doesn't lack that Resident Evil feel at all.
However, I did in one of the rooms, and I can't remember which one it is. There is a photo of the mansion from the Arklow Mountains in Raccoon City.
I didn't know that. I can't remember where I am at the moment. I'm kind of I'm hiding from the really creepy old lady.
Oh yeah,
it terrifies me.
Oh yeah. How far have you gone? Because I don't want to spoil it.
But I can't quite remember. I haven't played it for a while. I've just gotten into the next part of the house.
Oh, you're still quite early in it then. I won't say anything. Not spoil it.
I see. I've not played it for a while. I've been playing Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
I hear good things. That is on the list.
This is what I was going to show you. This is my cadence.
Oh, fucking ponies. Fuck off.
Tony don't do ponies.
Jesus.
I do ponies.
You bunch of girls.
Yeah, but no shame.
Yeah.
And wait, hang on.
Tony, you got your graphics card sorted.
What?
Have you got your graphics card sorted then?
No. My monitor's broke as well now.
Oh, man, you have no luck with computers, you. Bloody hell.
No. I have wired it into my TV, so I can still use my computer. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what I've been playing with.
I know. I need to catch up.
Oh, that's good.
I'm a bit behind on your ship series. I'm a couple of videos behind.
Yeah, I missed my delivery today being at work, and I'm a bit pissed off. So I've got to go down to the fucking depot in the morning before I go to work, which is lots of fun. I should be getting in this. Well, it's either my Discovery, which has finally shown up, or it is the USS Bozeman and the Zosa and the USS Jaeger and the Romulan science vessel.
Well, I will say one thing. You may disagree with me, you probably will, but I'm going to say it anyway, based off the teasers I've watched on YouTube. The new Stargate series looks like utter crap.
What?
I really don't like the look of it.
What? It's fucking Nazis, space Nazis. Come on now.
It just doesn't look appealing. I mean, I love SG-1. I like it.
But
this does not look appealing.
Dude, you are already seeing the first teaser trailer, remember?
True.
Yeah, give it a chance. Give the promotional material a chance before you make the full judgment.
Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, a lot of the time is they don't know how to trail these shows.
Yeah,
and movies, especially like this, they don't know how to trail them. So don't take too much faith from, don't put too much faith into the trailer itself. Wait till you see it first.
Well, that's a fair assessment. I know you can't really judge it. Just Starbug.
Yeah, finally got Starbug.
Red Dwarf. Greatest sci-fi comedy ever. That.
Oh yeah. Step up to red alert. What? Sure, sir. Are you absolutely sure? It does mean changing the bulb.
Yep.
Have you purchased The Last Jedi yet, Tony?
Not yet, because I didn't know it was out until I saw it in town today, and I'm like, fuck, I've got to wait till payday now because I'm saving up for TF Nation. So,
yeah. But you'll get a copy of it.
Oh, I'll get it next payday probably, which is only 2 weeks away anyway. So
yeah, screw all the haters. It was a really good film.
No, I liked it. I thought it was great. I really did. I thought it was good.
The only reason all the hate is because, well, we spent 2 years on YouTube writing it. Why didn't we get what we wanted? Because
it's not without its problems. I will admit that it's not without its problems.
No.
The whole Finn and Rose subplot didn't go anywhere.
A very weak plot. That bit.
She survived. She was nearly killed, but she survived. And
yeah, but it didn't. But the thing is, when they got to that gambling plan, it didn't really go anywhere, did it?
No. The thing is, Finn's clearly got the hots for Ray, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, and she's got the hots for him, blah blah blah. But it's. I mean, that whole sequence was fun, but it didn't add anything to the story.
Right.
For me,
just a quick.
It's like but then again, you look at Phantom Menace. That whole fucking pod race doesn't add to the story. It's just
no, it doesn't. It's an opportunity to use these special effects, but
yeah. So I don't mind it, but it just felt like and they speak to Maz Kanata and they go, oh, you got to go get this code breaker guy and blah blah blah. And all right, yeah. And
when you watch Star Wars, Tony, are you happy to watch the prequels as well as the original trilogy?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't mind the prequels. I mean, the Phantom Menace.
Great lightsaber battle.
Yeah, the lightsaber battle was the best part.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's when they get to Naboo and fucking Darth Maul does this, and he goes, and it's like fucking shit's on. Come on, you can forgive all the Phantom Menace to that point.
Yeah.
Right, but have you ever seen the Phantom Edit?
No, can't say I've heard of it.
Well, it's circulating around. It's either on YouTube or they might have taken it down since then. I'm not sure. But there's a version of Phantom Menace where a lot of the Jar Jar Binks stuff.
Remember Park Horse, the South Park short that was made to promote it?
Yeah. But the problem with the Phantom Menace is, right, it's... Right, what do the kids want to see, George? Oh, well, the kids want to see action adventure and trade disputes, and I'm like, what? Fucking...
And Jar Jar Binks.
And Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, that's what the kids want to see. Not lightsaber fights and action adventure and cool space battles. No, fucking trade negotiations and fucking, all that sort of shit. And it's like politics. Yeah, politics.
I mean, my biggest complaint about Attack of the Clones is literally that it's 90% politics.
Well, nothing happens, Phantom Menace. In Attack of the Clones, nothing happened. You can skip. In fact, right, I was talking to Ski about this a couple of years ago, and he said, in fact, we did commentaries on it. This is way back when I did a podcast. Excuse me. Now, you can just watch Revenge of the Sith without the other two, and the other two don't bring anything new to the party. Watch Revenge of the Sith and then the other three. Yeah, fine. Because we said this is where Phantom Menace should have kicked in. The last battle of the Clone Wars, because the first few minutes of episode 3 are fantastic. You've got Obi-Wan and Anakin being sort of buddy cop movie type thing going on.
Yeah.
You've got a cool space battle going on in the background. You know what I mean? That's where it should have started. That's where Phantom Menace should have been, the film. The last battle of the Clone Wars, this, that, and the other. Then the next film is the wrapping up of that, the aftermath of the war, things slowly getting back to normal, but, the rise of the Empire and, the civil liberty's been taken here and there, and the Jedi going, hang on, you can't do that.
Personally, I'd like to see I know they've done it in comics, but I'd love to see kind of like, how can I put it, like, Vader the early years, like when he's very best.
Yeah, what I've read about the comics is it said how the story of how Darth Vader found his red kyber crystal to make his red lightsaber after Obi-Wan took his blue one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now that's a good story.
I've not read that. It's I need to read it. There are a few things I need to read at the minute. But people going. I saw the trailer for Solo tonight, and I just went, "Oh, that looks amazing." But people are saying about
one you were talking about, Tony.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it. It's great, isn't it?
That is a bloody good film.
But it's like The Matrix, but with licensing.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
The part with the Gundam, Sam, near the end when the Gundam comes in.
Right.
The beauty of it.
Never in a million years would I have thought I'm going to go see a film where. Because I love Godzilla films where Mecha Godzilla fights the Iron Giant and the fucking Gundam on the big screen in front of me. I'm like, this is a fucking fever dream, this.
The ironic thing is every single, 10-year-old that went to see it will not get any of the references.
Well, there's a few that will get
watching Halo.
Because there's Halo, there's Overwatch, there's Street Fighter in there, there's Joker and all that sort of stuff. And, there's... And everybody knows the Millennium Falcon because it gets mentioned in the film. You know what I mean? I tell you what I did like, which was very fucking obscure, was when Sorrento meets spoilers, anybody who hasn't seen it yet, fucking stop listening and go see it. But anyway, the bit where Sorrento meets IROC and on that planet, and there's a crashed fucking Martian war machine from the George Pal War of the Worlds. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. That is really cool. it'd have been cool if there was a few in the background firing away, but still to have
I
that
like
there.
the fact as well that when you had that shield, the activation for it is the spell of making from Excalibur.
Yes, I know it is. Yeah,
I like that. That was a nice little touch.
I mean, I liked Thingy as well. Well, I just liked the whole film. I thought it was great. I mean, I've read the book. The book is vastly different.
A great story from beginning to end. I like, the relationship. I like the sort of prank, the sort of joke they put in that just because someone has a female avatar doesn't mean they are actually a female.
Yeah,
but
which plays out later anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, he could be Sam, and pretending to be love you, Sam.
You could be anything. The way it is, you could be anything or anyone online.
Right. Okay. Let's just ask the question. Right. I'll ask Lawrence first, then you, Sam. Right, Lawrence. What giant robot would you choose? You can have any giant robot, anything.
Maybe the original Power Rangers Megazord.
Knew you'd say that, Sam.
If I could be anything, does this just to answer
any giant robot, right? At the minute, we're just doing giant robot.
Transformers Prime, I see.
Sam would kick your ass. Lawrence would kick your ass, Sam.
Yeah, probably would.
Now I've got a cross. I'm torn between three, right? I'd either go G1 Devastator, right? G1 Bruticus, or G1 Predaking.
Yeah, tough decision.
Yeah, because no matter how awesome Power Rangers are, they're nowhere near as powerful as the Predacons.
No.
Especially even if they get knocked on into the 5 individual parts, 5 Predacons going against the Power Rangers. Ooh, that'd be an interesting fight to say the least.
Did you watch Power Rangers when it first came on, Tony? Like back in the early 90s, or is it something you've got into since?
I remember it being when it came out, and I think I was just too old for it when it first came out.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, I enjoyed. And I was in that sort of. When did it air in the UK? It was
1994.
No,
yeah.
95, wasn't it? It first aired in the UK.
Something like 94, 95.
So I'd have been 1993.
So I'd have been leaving school, trying to pick up the girls, which never happened. So I was kind of in that, I like Godzilla movies, and this is kind of the same thing. I'll check it out, and yeah, it was all right, and so recently I've got into it a bit more. I mean, I like. Right, you're probably going to punch me in the face at the minute when I say this. I don't particularly like the show itself, but the toys, the figures, and the Megazords and stuff like that, they're fantastic toys.
Yeah, but they go well with your Transformers and. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so I mean, especially the legacy stuff. The communicators, the thingies, and all that sort of gear. That's fantastic.
I get something to show you.
You know what I mean? That's fantastic stuff. But the show, it's basically the same every time.
Well, it's each to their own, really. I mean,
yeah, I know. I'm not knocking it if you like it. It just doesn't. The toys, brilliant. Yeah, I'll have some toys, absolutely. But the show itself, once you've seen one episode, you've pretty much seen them all. If I'm honest, But don't get me wrong, cracking theme tune, and like I say, I have liked when I've watched it, I've liked it. And come on, it's morphin' time.
I picked this up from New York.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Because I mean, I loved the movie. I thought the movie was fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're holding it wrong. You should be doing that.
It's hard to do that with the strap on, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, it's morphin' time. So I mean, come on, you do get a bit of goosebumps when it goes. It's morphin' time.
Well, you do. I mean, see, my childhood was Power Rangers. I mean, when Power Rangers first aired, it was the only thing I was watching on telly. I was just obsessed with it.
Yeah, because other Saturday morning cartoons were boring.
Yeah, because it was, if I remember rightly, at that time, round about that time, you'd have. Actually, do you know what? Thinking back, you'd have quite good cartoons, but there was nothing really new at that point.
Everything.
I mean, Sky One used to do like from like 6 o'clock in the morning to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It'd just be cartoons all day on a Saturday. You know, you'd have things like He-Man, Transformers, Star Trek, the animated series.
Yeah, because it used to be on sort of, is it what was known then as Channel 3? They had you had like your Mr. Motivator, which was on halfway between what they call the Power Hour, which is the Power Rangers double bill.
Yeah. But I mean, on like I say, on Sky, from like 6 in the morning, you'd get like Inspector Gadget, you'd get Transformers, He-Man, I think Real Ghostbusters as well. And they'd shift them around every couple of weeks, and then you'd get your My Little Ponies, you get your Gem and Holograms, even G.I. Joe was thrown in. So you get all these cool shows on a Saturday morning, and then into the early afternoon. And then they'd start showing things like Power Rangers when Power Rangers was coming out and stuff like that, and throwing that in, and then throwing other things in. And
then you also had the other side to shows that were aired when they ran out of episodes of Power Rangers, like they had VR Troopers, Beetleborgs, Masked Rider, all them.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, to me, all that stuff was the same kind of idea, which it is really, to be fair. Excuse me. Okay, then. Let's go back.
I remember the very first time I went on the internet. I would have been about 11, and it was on like a taster day for high school.
Okay, and I remember it was old now, boys. Go on.
Like, literally, wow! I'd never been on the internet, and I was so fascinated by it. But I just remember back then it was so slow compared to how it is today. And
well, no, the fact that the worst thing is that you were just downloading your first porn video, and then your mum didn't want to use the phone. Put it off, and you think, "Fuck."
Well, something on that subject. In our market in Leicester, the same guy who runs the toy store sells pornographic DVDs on the same store.
So there's one section for kids and the other for adults.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got his toys in one area of the stall, and then there's like the section of DVDs, and there's like this box that says adult DVDs on it, and it's full of porn.
That's where we know you get your porn from, there, Law.
Mommy, what are those two ladies doing?
I'll be like, I don't care about the story, Ooh, lesbians, nice. No, but okay then. Weapon of choice. Any weapon, anything. What would you have?
Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
Cool but predictable, Sam.
Excalibur.
You're all missing the point. Fucking Starfleet Type 2 phaser is what you want. So much more versatile as a weapon. Because you've got stun, you've got stun levels from 1 to 10, and then you've got from 10 to 16 in heat, disruption, and disintegration mode. Plus, then you can use it to open, cut doors down. And if you set it to overload, you've got yourself a bomb all in one weapon.
I could say a Zach Nicotel, but the whole
also a good choice. I
mean, the whole disintegration thing is only used 4 times in the show.
4 times, and 2 in one episode. Yeah. All right then.
How it kind of becomes a parody of itself.
Yeah, because in what is it? Is it? Oh, the one where they're doing the Wormhole Extreme.
Yeah.
When he goes, so 1 shot stuns, 2 shots kill, 3 shots disintegration. The director's good. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Okay then. Ship. What ship would you have?
Oh, easy.
Any ship.
For me, because it's my favourite, USS Voyager.
Good choice.
I like that ship. It's my favourite Star Trek ship.
Good choice. Quite a versatile ship. Its actual designation is science vessel, but now Janeway has changed it to deep space tactical vessel. Lawrence, what ship would you have?
Probably the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's
Or
fast.
maybe an Imperial Star Destroyer.
Oh, you see, everybody goes Star Destroyers, but they're crap. They're actually crap. Right?
Tony, all right. Lawrence, go on this list. Tony, break it down. Star Wars original film. How many shots hit? How many shots miss? Go.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, first, let me answer my own question. I'd go for the Defiant. You know, because are you going to argue with the Defiant? No, you're not.
No,
how big you are,
Captain
Captain Sisko, yeah. Right, starting Imperial Star Destroyer, right? When you first see it, it fires, what is it? 23 shots, 19 of which miss, right? Now it's shooting a vessel that's making no maneuvers whatsoever, right? It's not, if it was banking left and right, trying to avoid the lasers, fair dues. But it's fighting. I mean, the opening shot comes from top of the screen, comes down like that. Star Destroyer fires it, and it goes, and then you know it scores 3 hits. You know.
Yeah.
And that's inefficient use of energy aboard the ship for one. Number 2, TIE fighters are not great ships.
No shields, no hyperdrive.
No shields, no hyperdrive, very minimal weaponry, right? Not really designed to fly in atmosphere, for one. An F-22 Raptor could outfight a TIE fighter. An F-22 Raptor. Just wrap that around your head for a little bit.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, I was never a big Star Trek fan, so I don't know much about the Star Trek ships. I only really know Star.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not saying that all Star Wars ships are bad. It's just that these are supposed to be the guys taking over the galaxy, and yet the ships are actually, when you look at it behind the curtain, they're a bit crap. Now,
yeah, I mean,
you compare that
TIE fighter.
Yeah, but you compare an Imperial Star Destroyer with an Earth Alliance Omega class destroyer with Star Furies.
Yeah.
Right, from Babylon 5, which is a fantastic series. You should watch it.
I need to watch it. It's on my list.
Those ships are incredibly powerful. They are massive. They're incredibly powerful. And Star Furies are the best starfighters I've ever seen in action. Because they've got the wings are on an X configuration, but on each end of the wing is a engine pod, and they've got thrust capabilities in every direction. So effectively, if it's been pursued like this, it could stop dead in its tracks and then instantly turn itself round and shoot its attacker, or it can just stop dead and fly straight up. So compare that to a TIE fighter. TIE fighter is pretty fucked. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, TIE fighters look and sound cool. TIE Interceptor is what you want to go for.
Yeah.
But a First Order TIE fighter is probably the better one because they've got shields and they've got hyperdrives as well.
Well, that's the thing, is that the First Order took everything about the Empire and improved upon it and upgraded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for example,
it's like the Venators in Clone Wars. They're good ships.
The Resistance still have the old outdated technology in most of it.
But I mean, it's not how good your ships are, it's how we use them.
Yeah, it's how we pilot them.
Yeah, because you could have the world's best ship ever, but if you don't have to use it properly, you can get your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
Okay then. Let's see. Let's answer a question. What would your avatar be then in the Oasis? If they do the Oasis, what would you choose?
Oh, I've been thinking about that since I saw the film.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about on the bus ride home tonight.
I generally have got so many ideas. I think I'd be a custom one, but I would be my own custom avatar, and I would fly around on a dragon.
I think I would be. I'd probably be a Gundam character.
Cool.
Kind of like the Dynasty Warriors Gundam type.
Tony, you're obvious. You'd be a Starfleet captain.
Well, I was thinking that, but that would be the most obvious choice. And then I thought, well, G1 Soundwave, because G1 Soundwave. But then I thought, Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I fucking love that show. I fucking love that show. And Captain Holt is the best thing about it. Even though I love all the characters in it, he's the best thing about that show. You know, I'm excited beyond belief right now.
Well, not long, mate. What, 4 months till TFN?
Yeah.
I was just about to mention that.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait, mate. I am so buzzing. And yes, there will be a video very shortly.
Yeah, I've done my first TF Nation video.
Good lad. Well, I get a bit of stick for doing the videos that I do, right? And you know what?
No, well, you shouldn't.
No, but you know what, though? I get the community fucking buzzing, do I not?
Yeah, of course you do, because you were on Knowlesy was on a panel last year, but you got recognition from some people who weren't on YouTube, didn't you? You had someone ask you to sign something, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I got asked for an autograph, yeah, before Thew as well, which is quite fun. But yeah, but it's not. But I mean, that's not the reason why I do it. The reason why I do it is, the whole convention etiquette thing has become a bit of a joke now. But the thing is,
about etiquette, Tony, we were actually talking to Carl about that last night. You know, TWP. Yeah. We actually talked about last night, and he was actually saying it's why he isn't going to a lot of conventions these days, because there's too many people that are so easily triggered.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you don't seem to get much of that at TFN, but we're
all cut from the same cloth. We're all very similar.
But it does happen. But I mean, imagine the first time you went, you know, you didn't know anybody, you didn't know anything, you didn't know how things work, and you walk in that dealer's room for the very first time, you went, oh my lord, and fucking shot your load straight away.
My reaction was pretty...
Yeah, I mean, that was my experience last year.
Yeah.
I spoke to a few people on Facebook. I've seen videos on YouTube. But once I got there, it was just everyone was so welcoming, and the atmosphere was just kind of, this is where I need to be, I think.
Yeah.
When I went to Water Assembly 2010, which is the very first, convention I ever went to, and I walked into the dealer's room for the first time, I had to literally take a breath, and it was just like, oh my god, so much stuff that I actually need and want and must buy. Where do I start? Who do I talk to? It blew my mind.
It did me. I mean, my first was 2009, and I fucking went nuts and spent almost everything in about 10 minutes.
Yes.
What did you do the rest of the weekend then?
To this day, I honestly do not know how much I spent in my first auto assembly, because I actually saved for almost a year, and I generally, honestly, don't know how much I spent. The first.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
Have you ever spent over $1,000 before?
Oh yeah, easily. If I was to guess, I would say 2010, my very first auto assembly, my very first convention ever. I could probably at a guess say I spent $1,500.
Jesus.
I think last year my total amount I spent was just close to £800.
Well, that's what I spent on my first time around back in 2009. I mean, you take off the cost of the hotel and how much food you buy for food and drink and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And but the thing is though, I spent it quite quickly. And then
so what did you do for the rest of the weekend then?
I had some money left over, but this is the point I'm trying to make. This is the point why I do the videos every year, is because the temptation is to go in with a fucking fat wallet and go, shut up, take my money, and come out with toys and go, oh, I've got this, I've got this, got this, got this.
Yeah, you
and
don't
then
want to do that.
The realization kicks in and goes, oh my God, I have like 53 quid left for the rest of the weekend. What do I do?
I've done that. Birmingham Comic Con, I did that 1 year, and I went batshit crazy. And I'm serious when I say within 45 minutes, I've spent all my money.
Yeah,
I have about 30 quid left, and it's just like after about 10 minutes, it just went in my head, and I sat down. I was like, "Oh shit! What am I going to do? I've got 2 more days here, and I've got
it's a horrible feeling, isn't it?
What am I going to do?" And I didn't have any more money. I'd literally spent almost everything in less than an hour.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling, that, isn't it?
It is,
and that's why I do the videos.
I do it again, and I haven't.
Yeah. And that's why I do the videos, because, you know, like I say, if it's your first convention, you don't know what things are like, and you go in and just go, "Oh my god, shut up and take my money," and then you've got nothing for the rest of the weekend. It's a horrible feeling, knowing that if you just pace yourself a bit, you've probably got some better stuff, you know, better bargains and that.
Yeah.
You know, so you know what I mean, and that's why I do the videos. Because Ray Isle of Mess used to do them years ago, and because he didn't do videos anymore, hasn't done one in about 6-7 years. So I went, you know what, I'm going to fucking step in and I'll fill that gap. And I do every year, and I get everybody excited, and then everybody else does videos, and everybody else goes, Mr. Yeti, he did a video last year about, you know, so when you get in there and what's on the shopping list, and what's your playlist for your music down there and things like that. And I'm like, oh, fucking, that's a great idea. I'm going to do my two pennies worth. Excuse me. And yeah, it gets the community going. It gets everybody's excitement level up. And, you know, especially when there's like a week, you know, like a month to go, and then 2 weeks to go, then a week to go, then 3 days to go, then 1 day to go, you know.
There's one important thing I must say about this year.
Go on.
Stambush!
Yes!
You got the touch. You got the power.
Tony, Lawrence, just to actually say this, because Lawrence, did you know that John originally wasn't going to come to TFN this year?
Yes, I did know that, yes.
The reason
and you made a really odd video about it.
Is because of Stan Bush, yes. Yeah. Well, that won't be something they get. This will probably be his only time coming, won't it? Most likely.
Oh, yeah. And to be frank,
yeah, I know. So I've looked at the schedule. The concert's on the Saturday evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know there are talks that some of us might go to Birmingham on the Friday.
Well, you see, years ago, when it was in Birmingham City Centre, you could do, and you could walk around and that, and then, you know, you'd only be like a few minutes away. But now, I feel like I don't want to go anywhere. Sorry, everything's falling down here. I don't want to go anywhere because everybody's there. I don't really want to go anywhere else, you know? And then
out of interest, Tony, I know you kind of got your ear to the ground when it comes to stuff like that. I am getting hold of that at some point in the next month.
What's that? What's that there, Tony?
The original soundtrack for the film.
Well, I need to get one.
Yeah, I'm getting myself a copy later this year.
Oh, yeah, he's getting signed by the legendary man himself.
I am getting a copy of that. But regarding to the convention, I know, Tony, you've got your ear to the ground because you're pretty good mates with various people on the committees. Have you heard anything about whether or not we'll move to a different location?
Not as far as I'm aware, no. And I think, I mean, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouths or anything like that. So this is pure speculation. This is no inside information or anything like that. Nobody tells me anything.
We're at the Hilton Metropole again.
As far as I'm aware, they had a deal for the Hilton for the next few years.
Yeah,
that's as much I know. So, which is fine. I've got no problem there. You know, so I think the thing is as well, I think because we're quite good there.
Yeah, Hilton do like us.
The Lakers, you know, there's no, you know, yeah, we might get a bit rowdy in that, but there's no troublemakers, is there? There's no smashing the place up or out, you know. And if Stan Bush sings fucking Sam's themes version of The Touch and not The Touch, then I'll start smashing the place up. You know, that's a joke, by the way, people. Is it though? But excuse me. But in all seriousness, though, no, like I said, we get on with the quilters. I think it's sort of mutual tolerance of the Faith Con, isn't it? I don't think we.
Chorus. Oh yes. Turley, you have to tell Lawrence about your experience when you were in the lift with Faith Con.
Yeah. I will in a second.
Because everybody knows about it, but Lawrence will probably won't have heard about it yet. But it's
Right, I think it wasn't last year, and it wasn't the year before.
it was the first year we were up TFL.
No, it was the last auto assembly. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was last auto assembly, and I think it was around about sort of about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock ish on the Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon rather. And sort of things are winding down at this, but you know when you get that feeling where it's just sort of slowing down.
Yeah.
And just before you know, you can see the dealers sort of starting to pack away. It's round about that time anyway. So I went in the dealer's room and had a wander around. I sort of think, could I get another bag in here and there? And I got a couple of bits here and there. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go upstairs for a bit, chill out, and then go to see the closing ceremony. So I did. I went upstairs, and but anyway, and I get in the lift. There's a couple of other auto assembly guys there, which I didn't know. I didn't know who they were, but the Transformer T-shirt, bags in their hand. And then this family of 2 kids, probably about 10 or 11-ish, thereabouts, and their mum, right? And they had the FaithCon things on.
Yeah.
And I think, because that year, I think, I'm just trying to remember, I think I was on the top floor, or the second to top floor, because the lift was quite up, and they were on the floor below me. Anyway, these 2 guys got off on the very first stop. So I'm in the lift and that. And then sort of, I think either got a text or a call. I'm trying to remember. Don't forget I've had a few drinks since then.
Yeah.
And then I think I said, oh, I've got such and such or whatever it was. And it was the way the woman sort of looked at me. And then, because I've got like a couple of carrier bags full of gear.
Yeah.
The way she looked at me. And then she said to her kids, sort of turn them away and said, don't look, children. And I just thought, you know what? If you just fucking kept your mouth shut, you know, they're not likely to look, are they?
No.
You know, and then she gave me this look as if to say, what are you doing with your life? You know, why are you wasting your money on this? Then you should be at FaithCon with us, you know, giving it to some fucking rich fucking pastor who really shouldn't be allowed any money at all.
Jesus.
You know? And that really irritated me. It really wound me up because, well, who are you to judge how I live my life?
So to you,
because I don't. Yeah, because I'm not doing the same thing as you. You know. You know what I mean? It's just because all the quilters usually are very inquisitive and want to know what you're doing. And they go, oh, what's that? And, oh, you like Transformers? And, oh, you like toys? Oh. And they're generally quite interested, aren't they, Sam?
Yeah. I mean, one year I remember one year at breakfast, because I walked past your table and you were in a conversation with an elderly lady who was one of the quilters.
Oh,
correctly.
This is the Friday morning.
Yeah.
Right? This is 2013. This is the Friday morning. I think it was the first year we'd had with the quilters. I'm really hungover, right? And I'm sharing with Simon at this point. And I woke up, and you know when you're so hungover and you kind of wake up and you go, oh fuck, like that, and you kind of go. I had to collect myself for a minute. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Oh yeah, shit, I'm in Birmingham, yeah. So anyway, this is how hungover I was. I didn't even get fucking showered. I just quickly brushed my teeth, crudely brushed my teeth, I might add. Because I couldn't, I'm like, oh, fucking kill me. I'm dying. Bacon. And then I went down. Anyway, I got sat, and then this pretty much as I sat down, this quilter sat down. She's got her iPad, and she's like this. She's got a glass on. She's like this. Right, fair enough. I'm like, tea, must have tea. I'm tea. And then when you and John walked past Sam, she went, oh, there's a lot of young men here this weekend. And I went, yeah. She said, oh, what are you all here for? And I went, oh, we're here for Transformers. And she went, oh, you're all engineers. And I went, well, some of them are, I guess, but no. And she went, all right, so what are you here for? I said, oh, we're Transformers toys. And she goes, oh, you're all toy designers. I went, no, not really.
Collectors.
No. I said, we're collectors, we're grown men and have collections of toys. And she went, oh, right. And then that's it. She didn't say anything after that. And then about 5 minutes later, I'm sort of becoming more human at this point, having my bacon. She goes, oh, how long have you been coming here? And I went, at this point, I think about 5 years. And she went, "Oh," I said, "You're very quiet." And I went, "What? Oh, it's quiet? What?" And she was always in the bar till about 11 o'clock. And, yeah, and she went, he was in the bar until about 11 o'clock, and he was all very pleasant and stuff. And I went, "Yeah, but that's 11 o'clock. That's when we're all still sober. Wait till you should have waited about another 2 hours. Would have been just hanging off the walls by that point."
Yeah.
But it was quite fun, quite funny. But like I said, the Quilters are genuine, because most of the Quilters that weekend were all, because when you sat at a table and you get your bots out and you're going, "Oh yeah, well, I've just bought this. It's pretty cool." But you sit there on the table having a drink and everybody's chatting and go, "Oh, what you bought? Can I have a look?" And they were genuinely coming over going, "Oh, what have you been buying? Oh, they look cool." And and then there was a box of, I think it was Gethin that was passing it around, and a box of just crap in it that people go, "Oh, just take it." And this lady come over because I was sat with I think Will and Rob Bishop, Gus Starsky and Anonymous voice respectively. I think George and I can't remember who I was sat with. And they just went to this woman. She goes, "Oh, is it all right to go in?" I said, "Well, no, because we got tickets, blah, blah." "Oh, we want to get our nephew something." And then one of them just went, "Here, have this box, take it." So I said, "Oh, that's very nice of you, very kind of you." So yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, but the Faith Connors though, they're an odd bunch. I mean, if they want to, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But
dress the kids.
Yeah. So you guys are coming down on the coach again this year, aren't you? On the 16th.
Yes.
I say, what I tend to do, like I did last year, I get an open return, so I can get a bus there on the 16th and then any bus back. I mean, like last year, I was on the same coach as you guys on the day back. I mean, I was wondering, if you know what time your coach is coming to Leicester on the way there.
Well, we'll know close to the time. So it's usually about end of July when we get our tickets, isn't it, Sam? Yeah. Usually, yeah.
We'll be getting
we'll let you know because it's usually about 10 o'clock, innit? We get the bus round about 10 o'clock time.
Well, about 9:30 normally, isn't it?
Because it goes to Doncaster, doesn't it? And then
it goes to Donny, Nottingham.
Yes. Is it what, about 1:45? It normally gets to Leicester.
Usually, yeah, thereabouts.
Give or take.
And then it's only like it's less than an hour from then to Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, I'm sure when it's closer to the time, we'll know a bit better, and then we'll just text you when we're on our way, and then you can get yourself down to the station. Then, can't you? So
yeah, I know that there are some people who were there last year who normally go that aren't going again this year.
Well, I mean, not everybody can afford it every year, and real life does get in the way.
Well, I spoke to Nicole. She says she isn't likely she'll be able to come, but
no. It's I mean, if she can, that's brilliant. I mean, if she can't, it'll suck, but it's understandable.
And she was really nice to talk to.
Oh, Nicole's lovely. I mean, like I say, I met most of these back in 2009, so they've sort of been, around for a long time, and Nicole is lovely. She's really lovely. She gives you the best hugs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she does.
Amy's lovely as well. Lady of Wreck. She's lovely as well. And then she did that. Did you see that? You wouldn't have seen it, Lawrence, but the last auto assembly, she did that yearbook thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you tell us? Because I'd have threw in some dollars at you to get me one of those. I could have got everybody to sign it. It'd been fantastic.
What happened to that thing? Did that ever get published?
No, she just had it made up for air.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because I'd have said if I'd have known, because she has
paid for one, to be honest.
That's what I said, and I think a lot of people said the same thing. I said you could have made one for every person here. We'd have all just gone, "Here, there you go, cheers, thank you." It'd have been a nice little keepsake. But I mean, it was something for her that she wanted. It's fair dues. I mean, everybody I've met there has been, well, I've known a lot of them. 9 years. Next year will be 10th anniversary since I've met most of them.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I didn't know any of you guys. I came across like several YouTube channels. I didn't know what auto assembly was, or you know,
But that's the point, as you say, Lawrence. You see, that's how me and John found out about auto assemblies.
That's how a lot of people found out about auto assemblies, because the first year that we went was 2009, and we just literally bombarded YouTube with video after video after video with stuff we'd got, stuff with people we'd met, pictures, and we just.
I definitely want to get some more art this year. So I can spice up the bedroom a bit. I really want to get some more art.
My advice to that is getting as early as you can, because otherwise, if you leave it too late, they either don't have enough time or, so get in as early as you possibly can. I need to get some off Kai's Emma. All the years that she's been going.
I mean, Hal Rail last year, he was so nice. He gave me a picture for free, a signed photo for free.
Oh, cool. You see, this is the thing as well. It's the guests that they get. The guests are fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and do you remember, we all stood out there outside the hotel talking to Venus Townsend?
Yeah, for 4.5 hours.
She was a lovely lady.
She's a lovely lady. But we did the same thing the year before with Richard Newman, and we've done it with Greg Berger, and we've done it with David Kay, and we've done it with Scott McNeil and Paul Iden and Neil Kaplan and Simon Fairman and all these guys that come.
Oh, will Fairman be there again this year? I've got him on Facebook.
He's always there. It's Fairman. I think he lives down the road.
I went up to his desk several times last year to get a comic signed. He was never there. I remember asking Bob Badiansky, I said, "Do you know when Simon's going to be back?" And he said, "No." But I bumped into him, I think, briefly in the corridor outside the dealer room.
Well, he does a lot of panels, though, does Simon. He does a lot of panels.
Yeah.
Because last year,
every time I went up to his desk, he was never there.
Yeah, because last year he did the Definitive Guide panel, then he did the IDW panel, and then he did the I did another panel. I can't remember what it was now. But he's always doing panels. That's the thing.
Well, the man's got what, 40 years worth of Transformers knowledge.
Yeah, and I've seen stuff he's posting on Facebook about his new stuff, so maybe he'll do some talk about that this year.
Oh yeah, he will. Yeah. But again, it's just going all this time, and you get to know these people like John Paul Beauvais. I consider him a mate nowadays. And Nick and James, and and all these guys, all the regular guests, the comic book guy guests they get. You stand and talk to them in the bar for hours and hours and hours and hours.
They just blend in, don't they, with all the attendees?
Because they're fans just like us. And then when you start talking to them, they just become your friends. You stand in the bar. I mean, I was stood with, in 2013, no, 2014, and I was stood in the bar with Simon Fairman, Neil Kaplan, and James Roberts, and whoever else was stood around. It must be about 2 hours just chatting in the bar, and that's great.
I should say, and I think both me and you, Tony, can agree on this. It's a shame, Lawrence, you weren't there the 2 years he was there. Peter Spellos is the loveliest man I have ever met.
And you know what? He didn't expect... What? Because it kind of humbled him a bit. I mean, he knew kind of what to expect.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that he'd meet that he said family members.
Yeah.
And
a lovely man.
And Papa Shark is a lovely man. And he's down in London, I think, at the minute, doing his improv thing. And I'd love to go, but I just can't afford to go.
I can't. I'd love it. The thing is, I just don't have the time. I need to get the time off to do it, and I can't. All my time off.
Same as me, yeah. And it's the money. It's dear to go to London.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I mean, he's an absolute treasure.
By the way, Nosey was on with us earlier, Tony, but he had to go to work. So,
yeah, and it's but to know these people, and they add you on Facebook. You don't add them; they add you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like Paul Harding, again, a lovely bloke. He is a lovely, lovely, lovely bloke. And And every year he's there. It's, hi, Tone, how's it going? Yeah, not bad, Paul, yourself, you know, blah, blah. You know, because I don't get starstruck. I go get my autographs and go, oh, thanks for coming. I enjoyed you in this. You were brilliant in that. Loved this character you do, blah, blah. Can you sign this? Yeah, cheers, thank you. See you in the bar later. Excellent. You know, but the one time I did get a bit starstruck when I met Dan Gilvezan, you know, do you want Bumblebee? Because he's Spider-Man in Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. And that is the show that made me love comic books. And I did get a little bit when I met him. And again, what a lovely dude. He's, you know, I said, oh, you've been there since I can, as far back as I can remember. Your voice of Spidey is the voice of Spidey. You know, but the best thing that happened.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I love that series.
Yeah, because that what made me the nerd I am, really. 1980 that show came out, by the way. I'll just point that out.
Yeah, I've got that full series on DVD actually.
Yep, me too. And he signed it for me, and I was very excited. But the best guest, I think. I mean, they've all been good. I mean, this is no one guest better than any of the others. It's another thing. It's, you know, I'm not ranking him in any order, but Bob Budiansky, because if it wasn't for him, none of us would know each other. None of us. You know, and it's because of him. You've got all the voice actors going. You've got all the comic book guys going. You've got the toys that sold well. You know, if it wasn't for him who basically created all the characters, we wouldn't know each other. None of us.
I'm going to say, if it weren't for Auto Assembly, right? If Auto Assembly didn't exist, if it just, you know, didn't exist, I don't think I would ever have gone to any convention, because I've been to quite a few since starting Auto Assembly all those years ago. But Auto Assembly was a whole new chapter in my life that changed me, and it changed me for the better. I think if it didn't exist, I would never have gone to Comic Con. Well, I would never have gone anywhere else, and I don't think I'd be the person I am today.
Yeah, I mean, the conventions I went to when I was a kid, I went to the one in Blackpool in 1997, and then we went several years.
The Supernova one.
Yeah, there's lots of Star Wars people. I remember you talking about it.
I was there. I went to that one.
Yeah, I was there with my dad. I was 7 years old.
Small world, eh? I was there. I was at that one.
Yeah, I remember. I was sat in the bar. I was sat in the bar with Dave Prowse, Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett. I remember his wife took me around the convention because he actually grew up here in Market Harborough. He played Boba Fett.
Cool. No, I mean, I've done.
And I've been to NEC Birmingham several times. What's it? Memorabilia convention.
Well, I've done a few of the Supernova ones. I've done like a lot of Star Trek ones. I've done a couple of Buffy ones here and there. And I did Supernova 97 one. But I think the last convention I did was a Buffy one, I think. I'm just trying to think. And that was 2003. And I hadn't done a convention since that one before the first Auto Assembly, which was 2009. Now, there's a bit of a convoluted story of how I knew about Auto Assembly. And I'm going to tell you now. So sit down, boys and girls, and have yourself a favourite drink. And come with me now to the halcyon days of 2009. I'm going to tell you a Jackanory. Back then, I was just sort of starting my YouTube channel off, my old channel. But I've been watching Diancis and Isle of Mess and George and it was one of these things. It kind of snowballed because I started watching a guy called Decompose. It was quite good. Does a lot of comic videos as well, and he just does toys from the 80s and 90s. So you'll do the occasional Transformers toy and stuff like that. Anyway, I'd watched him, and then I watched the infamous Diancis Masterpiece Megatron video. So I watched a couple of his videos, and he mentioned Dave. Dave mentioned Andy. Andy mentioned Ray Isle of Mess, and Ray mentioned George, who mentioned Gerard, and it basically snowballed from that, right? And then, excuse me, one sec. Anyway, I was watching one of Dave's videos once, Cowell Prime, and he mentioned Moonbase 2 podcast. I thought, you know what, I'll check that out. I'll give that a listen. So I'm listening to it, and it's, you know, back in the day when Dave used to do it, and it was, he talked about the latest figures that was coming out and the latest news, and at that point, I think still news about, I fucking know, second Transformers movie, Revenge of the Fallen. I think still news was coming out about that, and new toys and stuff. And then he mentioned Auto Assembly, and I thought, oh, okay, all right. And then he mentioned it a couple more times, and he said, oh, it's convention in Birmingham, this, that, and the other. And I thought, hey, you know what? I'll check this out. And then I went, actually, you know, that rings a bell, because I think, is it 2003's Auto Assembly's on one of the DVDs set somewhere?
Yeah, on the, is it the right Rider?
With a really young Sammy on there.
Yeah. Really young Sammy on there. Really?
Oh, Sammy's on there. Will and Rob Bishop are on there. Dave's on there, and he asked Sam and Fairman a question, and he's got this, and he's spotting this really awesome mullet. Sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. You're not watching this anyway, but sorry, Dave. And I'm watching it going through, and goes, oh yeah, it's those guys. Yeah. Anyway, so they dropped this bombshell, and this bombshell was this. They went, oh, Ian James Collett's going. And I thought, oh, Cheeto from Beast Wars. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then they went, oh, they've just announced a new guest, Greg Berger. I was like, oh, what? Fucking Grimlock himself? No way. So I went on the website, and sure enough, Greg Berger was going. And my immediate reaction was, how often am I going to meet a G1 voice actor? And I went, just been paid from the door because I was unemployed at the time. I've got to go to this, got to go to. If it's the only one, then brilliant. And I went, bought my ticket. And in fact, I think it might have been 9 years to the day today when I bought the ticket. I'm not quite sure on the date, so I'll have to check that. There you go. And then, and the rest is history, really, from there. And that was the first time I'd heard about Auto Assembly. And then I thought, you know what, I'll see if there's any videos from the previous convention. And there was. Dave did a video of him going down. So, yeah, that's my history with why how I found out about it. So, what's your story then, Tom?
Well, to be frank, my story of how I found out about TF Nation, Auto Assembly, basically, it was 2009, and I'd obviously seen 2007 Transformers film, and it had re-sparked my Transformers interest, because obviously I grew up watching Beast Wars. And John, one day I was round at John's place, and he basically said to me, I was just checking YouTube out on Transformers stuff and looking at the upcoming Revenge of the Fallen film. And he just says to me, you need to watch this video. It's about a convention called Auto Assembly. We just missed it, and it looks awesome. So, all right. So I watched the video, and I was like, that looks like a really good convention. Let's Google it, basically. So we Googled it. We found out more, and it was a case of, right, okay. Oh, Greg Berger. Gary Chalk's going next year. Oh, and Scott McNeil is going next year. Yeah, we're going. And that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. So, Lawrence, how did you find out about
I'd heard about this thing called Auto Assembly that after it was over. I just came across all these haul videos people were doing about this Transformers convention, and then I'd heard from Nolsey about videos he was doing that the convention is now known as TF Nation, and because I became friends with Nolsey and yourself, Sam, just about a month before you went in 2016.
Yeah.
I'd love to have gone, but it was a bit too late by then to get everything sorted. Plus, I wouldn't have been able to afford it because I wouldn't have had the savings. But after talking to John about it and seeing all the footage from the convention, I thought, right, I have to go next year. chance to meet you guys, chance to meet lots of Transformers fans. It looks so welcoming. So I'm going to go. So what I did was, luckily, my dad and his girlfriend agreed to pay for the hotel and convention ticket for me for a Christmas present, as they have done again this year.
Nice.
And also, yes, with the inclusion of the Stan Bush concert. So I won't have to pay extra when I get there. Hopefully, I'll have access to the executive lounge as well again. Save me some, like I did last year.
You kept that fucking quiet, didn't you?
Well, no, I had it because my father used to work for Levi's, and he would be staying in Hilton's in America, in San Francisco, and everywhere. He had lots of Hilton points left over.
Ah, fair enough.
He could get access to the executive lounge. So I should have that again this year.
Cool.
I just thought, and after going last year, it was one of the greatest experiences I'd had in a long time. So I don't get to talk to that many people about things like this around here where I live. So
well, that's the thing. I mean, with conventions in general, they have a way of just making you feel all warm and tingly inside. And the thing with TF Nation, it isn't just people going to a convention to buy Transformers and see Transformers voice actors and artists. You're going there to see people who, in a lot of ways, aren't just friends, but are like one big family.
Yeah.
We've got so much in common that
that's the thing.
Connect.
We all like other stuff. I mean, we all like Star Trek and Star Wars and Gundam and Power Rangers and whatever else, yeah?
Some like My Little Pony.
Well, that's questionable. But no, the thing is, though, I mean, we all go... the draw is Transformers because we all love Transformers, And I think now, I mean, for us sort of veterans, and I think it's because we don't see each other very often, and we go to see each other basically, and then there's a convention happening in the background, and that's not any kind of detriment to the people who run the show and anything like that. But you know what I mean? That's what makes me go.
I mean, like on the first night, on the Thursday night, the group of us that all went out and had that meal.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, it's camaraderie is what we're after, and acceptance. Like you say, it doesn't matter if you're, unemployed or you got the best job in the world, or you're gay, you're straight, you're black, you're white, whatever. We all love Transformers, and that's all that matters. For those few hours, those few days that we're there, everybody's the same. There's nobody different.
Yeah. But the strange thing was, after I got back, I kind of, sometimes you get this feeling that you wish you were still there for
that's convention melancholy. Everybody gets it. You're not the only one. It's the come down. It's the excitement you've had while you're there and stuff like that, and then the realization kicks in that, all right, so I'm going to wait until next year now. I'm sad now.
And the first weekend is the worst, because that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you'll be sat at home thinking, this time last week.
This time last week,
obviously, you, me, and John, Sam, we met in February at Digicon, because I went up to Doncaster to Digicon to see you guys.
But I mean, I think
Digicon was a good little event, wasn't it, this year? Digicon 4.
The thing with this convention noise, which I've not seen from any other convention I've been to. I mean, you do see regular, because I used to go to a lot of Star Trek conventions, and you do see regular people there, enough to go, all right, and you didn't see other conventions I've been to. There's groups, and they all kind of click together, and then they stay in that group for the rest of the weekend, Whereas this one, I mean, out of the 1,000 people that go, we know probably 2/3 of them.
Yeah, easily.
Right? Maybe half, 2/3, something like that. I mean, there's the friends that go that we know better than others, but there's always people that you'll know from going, and there's always new people that go that become your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ones that you don't know, I actively seek it and go, oh yeah, I saw you last year, blah blah blah. But the best thing about this thing as well is if you're a bit unsure, a bit, and I don't want to say socially awkward because I hate that expression. But you've got your perfect icebreaker, and your icebreaker is this. You go up to a group of people around the table, you see an empty seat, you say, oh, would you mind, can I join you guys? And they go, yep. And then they go, oh, so what have you bought? And then they go, well, I've bought fucking jump starters, or I've bought this.
Yeah.
And I'm this. You're in your conversion.
I remember that last year when I went to go and say hi to Time Lord. So I'd never met him, but I'd seen his videos for several years. I said, oh, hi, you Matt, Time Lord. He's like, oh, I'm not used to recognition anymore. But he let me over and had a word with him.
Well, that's it. I mean, you've already gotten in to a conversation. Oh, that's a cool toy. I've got that toy. Oh, I want that toy. Oh, where did you find that? I need to go back. Whatever it is, you're in. I mean, this is another thing why I do my videos every year, is because some people might get a bit shy at these things and don't know who to talk to and don't know how to start a conversation, You know what I mean? But you can start a conversation. It's like, oh, that's a great toy. I have that. I've got it. I've got the variant as well. That. You're talking. You're in. You're straight away.
Yeah, I mean, I had to, when I got there on that Thursday evening, I mean, I had to take a bit of time to blend in because I'm going to have that extra little bit of a struggle because I'm on the spectrum slightly.
Oh no, totally agree there. But also, did you also feel accepted by everyone?
Yes, I did.
Exactly. And I think I introduced you to a lot of people as well. And this is Lawrence talk.
You did. Thank you very much.
Hey, no worries. That's what I'm there for. You know what I mean? And because I even said, because I knew you were on the spectrum, and I did call you up a couple of times saying, and I asked you if you was all right. If you need any help, come and give us a shout. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everybody's like that. If you'd have had a moment, say, you could have gone to anybody there and said, I need help. We'd have gone, right, fucking, what do you need? Where from? Who do I need to kill? And that's again, you wouldn't get that at, say, other conventions. You know what I mean? Not everybody's like that, obviously, but but you'd have, because you were among friends, we'd have just jumped. We'd have rugby tackled anybody to the ground for you. You know what I mean? So again, same thing this year. You get tired. You get a bit stressed or a bit overwhelmed. Come and see us, come and find us, and I'll go, right, you need to go sit down, or you need to go outside, or whatever you need to do, and we'll do it for you, no problem. And if I'm not there, I'm sure Sam will be about, or anybody else will be about,
Yeah, you need anything, Lawrence, we're always there.
Well, we had a good trip into Birmingham on the Sunday, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. One of the things that I miss about the whole old hotel, it was right above a comic shop. And fucking Samuel there spent, was it 150 quid on every hardcover of Blackest Night?
120 quid.
Because I said to you, oh, dude, you got to read it. And he goes, oh, yeah, I will. And then he went down to the comic shop, and then I saw you in your room, and you had stacked this big.
In that shopping centre that's just just behind where we went to eat, where the food court is. There was a good toy shop in there.
Is there? I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, Sam, I remember telling you, because that's where I saw these massive pony plushies, and you said you wanted to go and have a look at them.
Fucking ponies.
I don't think you'd be able to get one.
We should try and convert Tony while we're here. Try and convert him.
No. Right, our ponies, robots, spaceships, aliens, or robot dinosaurs?
No.
Well, not interested. Oh, are there zombies as well?
No.
No, well, I'm not interested.
They have some form of superpowers.
However, the character of Discord is in fact Q from Star Trek.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know that.
Well, he is Q. It's been confirmed that he is.
Yeah, they confirmed it. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So I have watched that episode with him with Q in it. So, but it ain't for me. I'm not that girly enough yet.
Each to their own.
Each to their own, yes. Except Twilight. If you're into Twilight, you're gonna get the shit taken out of you. Isn't that right, Team Edward?
You're a bastard.
I said it was nice at Digicon in February because it's the first time I met Carl, and he was the first YouTuber kind of from the Auto Assembly gang that I came across, and that's how I found out about you and John, Sam. Because yeah, he did several video responses to Nolsey.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, Carl. It's kind of a shame that he had a big falling out with Simon Plume, which is the reason why he stopped coming to Auto Assembly.
Yeah. Which I understand Carl's point of view.
Mm.
I know I don't know the particulars of that particular argument, but I do know what Simon Plum is like because I
Is he a guest or just an attendee, Simon?
No, he used to run it. Simon Plum used to run it.
Yeah, he was the original. He was the founder of. Well, he was technically the co-founder of Auto Assembly
with Sven Harvey. Yeah, because Sven Harvey fell out with him as well, and Sven told me what happened. I'm not going to go into details, but based on this is the thing. Based on the information I've been given by a lot of different people, and they've all pretty much said the same thing, I can assume that, yeah, Simon isn't quite the nice guy that he's made out to be. Because if you had something go wrong, his immediate response would be, ask Billy.
Yeah, I heard that.
And Billy... Bless Billy, love Billy, bless him. He had if you'd have seen him back in Auto Assembly days, he had a face like thunder, and if you asked him anything, he would have ripped your throat out with his bare teeth. I mean, Billy's the nicest guy in the world, but he was so stressed out during these things. I'm surprised he didn't quit when he did.
Yeah,
he didn't quit at all, rather, should I say? But yeah, because I said to him one year, and I said, "Dude, you look like shit," and he goes, I was like, oh, like that is it. So I'm not going to pry, then leave you to it. But you know, but I mean, I don't want to go into any particular details, but I've heard from different sources that, you know, and they've all said the same thing, you know, and it's a little bit. I don't know how true it is or how not true it is, but like I say, if a few different sources saying the same thing, then I can assume that nothing is. It's not.
One thing I haven't had a chance to look at. Will there be any TF Nation exclusives this year? Like last year, we had the comic.
Possibly, probably. We won't know of that until probably
the bear, the rune figure, the
comic.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be. But it's one of these things that we won't know till probably. I think it was. I believe they announced the exclusive toy. I think it was June last year. I think it was, maybe even July. I can't remember.
Yeah. I'll say, Tony, are you a Crash Bandicoot fan by chance?
I like the games. I won't say I was a fan. I mean, I had them back in the day.
You know the Insane trilogy is coming out for Xbox One.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I am thinking of buying it.
I've got it already on PS4, but I want to get it for the Nintendo Switch so I can play it on the go.
Yeah. I didn't mind the Crash Bandicoot games. I thought they were quite fun. Like Spyro the Dragon's getting remade as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All I want to know, the only remake that concerns me most is Resident Evil 2. You know, all I want to know is what the fuck's happening with that, because they announced, 3 years ago that they were going to do it, and nothing. They also said about what is it? They said about Final Fantasy VII as well. They said they were remaking that, and nothing is.
No, that is happening.
Well, that's what they keep saying about Resident Evil, but they've not said anything. Not shown anything.
I love Final Fantasy.
Haven't they confirmed that a remake of Final Fantasy VII is now happening? It's like it was confirmed last year, wasn't it? At E3.
Yeah, is that the one where the sword was so big ass? They've got the big ass sword in the Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, and it's been remade.
I could never get into them games. I've tried playing them back in the day, and they're just not for me.
What about games like Street Fighter and those old arcade classics?
I love
Do you like
Street Fighter. But I'm more of a Mortal Kombat person.
Oh, have you played the game Injustice, Tony? Which is a bit like
Not
Street Fighter,
yet,
but
no.
it's
Not
there's
yet, no.
Injustice 2 as well. So.
I haven't played it yet, but it's on the to play list.
Are you into Lego?
But I'm more like I want to rip somebody's spine out, you know. And but I don't live in a world where I can play a game where I've got Jason Voorhees versus the Predator.
Are you into some sort of the kiddie type games like Lego games at all? Or?
I enjoyed the Lego games, yeah, they're not bad. I'm not nowadays. If you'd asked me this question a couple of years ago, I'd have gone Call of Duty, Gears of War, and Halo and stuff like that. Now I'm more fucking. I just want to play the game. I don't care about online. You know, like Batman. I can't. I'm more fascinated with the game. And Grand Theft Auto, I like to do stuff in the game rather than online. I mean, occasionally I'll throw on Star Wars Battlefront and shoot at people for a bit, but I want a story. I want to play a story, you know? I want to, you know, like
I normally only go on GTA 5 online, but I'm just
I used to, and I just think...
I don't have Xbox.
I just kept fucking getting murdered every 5 minutes, you know? I don't know, there's got to be more to this game than that. And it's racing all the time. And I thought, well, can't we do a heist? Can't we plan a heist like we do in the game? You know?
Well,
now, what we should do is for the next Grand Theft Auto game, this is what they should do. You should be the police this time around.
Yeah, that should be pretty interesting.
It would be very interesting because I really liked LA Noire. Because it was basically Grand Theft Auto, but you were the police.
Mm.
But if you play a copper, maybe undercover, and you got to report, you know, you got to do criminal activity, and then you got to report back to your detectives back at station, going right. We've done this, we've done that. We need to go there. We need to arrest this guy. We need to speak to him. It'd make it, you know, a bit. It'd be the same, but it'd make it with a different twist to it. I think it'd be really good to do it that way. So you're the police this time. And you got to go undercover here.
Yeah, you know, Driver. That was the game where you were trying to get away from the police.
Oh, it was great, Driver. Yeah, and you could do the cinematic mode. It was great fun.
I've heard Grand Theft Auto 5 is very good.
Oh, it is.
Have you not played it?
Fantastic.
I haven't got it.
Oh, get GTA 5.
It's
yeah,
available on PC. I think it is available on PCs.
Yeah. I just haven't got around to getting it.
Oh, it's about fucking, was it 5 years old now? So you'd be able to get it on pre-owned for next to now. I mean, that's what I did. You know, that's what I did. I got GTA 5 and it cost me about, I think, 10 quid. But I'll tell you what, that is a fucking good game.
Yeah, I've got that. I'm blue stuck on that. Bloody hell, it's hard.
It is rock hard. It's them fucking androids that do my
Bloody
yeah,
hell.
there's one for PS4 I want to get. This God of War. I am giving some serious thought to getting that because that seems definitely my type of game from the footage I've seen.
You're going to get a fighting game, get Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's good as well. I really enjoy that. That's
I love Fallout 4. Brilliant game.
Dead Rising.
What about you in Far Cry?
No, I haven't got Far Cry. No, that's really good.
Oh, Syndicate. Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Got that.
Do you know out of all of them, that is my opinion is the best one. I mean, I like the others, just the fact that it's set in Victorian London, and you've got you know, it's like steampunky thing going vibe about it. It's really cool. Yeah, I quite enjoy that still. It's quite good.
I haven't got that yet.
Yeah, well, it's be on clearance now. It'll be quite easy to get. I've got the first one. The first one's quite good.
Yeah, I've got the first one.
I've got that. I've not played it yet. I've got quite the gaming collection at the moment. It's quite good. Plus, yeah, it's quite a stack of games I've got for the moment.
This is something I've been playing on a lot.
So I can't see.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Ah, right.
Are you into that sort of game, Tony? It's a bit like Street Fighter.
I've not played it, to be honest. I mean, I like Street Fighter
Are you
and Mortal
into anime
Kombat.
at all?
No, I'm not that. I mean, what anime have I got? I ain't got much, to be honest. Trying to think. Oh, I've got Akira because I think everybody has Akira.
Yeah. Oh, I love Akira.
I think it was issued to every single person on Earth.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
It was the first thing I'd ever seen like that.
It was the
Remember
very first anime to ever be dubbed.
Now, let me take you back in time to 1993. They showed Akira on BBC Two. That's the version I've got, same as you, Sam. They showed Akira on BBC Two, and it was the uncut Japanese dub. So it was a subtitle version. And I remember because I was 93 or 94, and I remember being at school, and the whole school was just absolutely aghast, and that's all everybody could talk about was, oh my god, you see that Japanese cartoon last night? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then I watched Ghost in the Shell again. It's the rules in it. And then Dominion Tank Police I really like, but nobody ever seems to have seen it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're an anime fan, you've not even seen it. That's what I mean. And another one nobody's ever seen, Project Echo.
I have no idea what that is. Never
Except
heard
Gruffy. Gruffy's the only other person I've met at this thing that's heard of it, have seen it. You know? And it's like, yes, finally somebody knows what I'm talking about. Oh, Blu-ray. I'm going to have to get it on Blu-ray. Canada! Tetsuo! Canada! And that's the entire film. Yeah, it's real fucking weird. Oh, I can't remember. Because, again, going back, I think about 97, 98, something like that, when Paramount Comedy Channel used to be a thing. And every Tuesday night used to be anime night, and used to show animes, all thingy. Patlabor.
You like Spirited Away and like all that stuff?
No, I'm more giant robots and, that sort of thing. I'm not a mystical fantasy type guy. It's the same with...
What about Voltron?
I've not seen it yet. I need to watch it.
I've got the original series. I've also watched some of Legendary Defender on Netflix.
Well, we've got the toys in at work, and I'm like, oh, they're pretty cool. But yeah, it's just finding the fucking time. There's so much to watch now. So much stuff to watch. It's like how I've got no time. And then when things like Batman is fucking taking over your life over, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I've got to play Batman. And I can't shake this cough. Sorry, lads.
No, it's all right.
Coughing in your ears. So we live on YouTube then now.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, the thing is, I don't dislike anime. I think I find a lot of it is this. This is going to sound real horrible, but I find a lot of it dull as fuck. I'm sorry, but a lot of it is dull. Because my nephew got big into it, and he says, "Oh, you got to watch Attack on Titan," and I'm like, "Right, okay." And it's just I watched I think the first 2 episodes. I'm like, nothing is happening.
Are you into Pokemon at all? Or?
Yeah, I like Pokemon. Not
particularly. What I grew up on was Pokemon and Digimon.
Yeah, well, Digimon's got the best. Well, I like both the theme tunes. I've been playing Pokemon Go.
You were a big Digimon fan, weren't you, Sam?
I love Digimon. I love it. Digimon is pretty much, in my opinion, was quickly replaced Pokemon. When I first saw Digimon, it replaced Pokemon.
Yeah.
I've always thought Digimon is a much stronger story-driven show than Pokemon ever was.
And actually there is proper character development because the characters actually age.
Yeah. I do.
Well, there's a theory about Pokemon, isn't there? That it's Ash is in a coma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some weird theories.
Yeah, Ash is in a coma. That's why there's always a Nurse Joy in every town, and you know, and that's why.
Yeah, because the theory is when Pikachu zaps him for the first time, it knocks him out. And
Yeah.
that's what's
Yeah,
happening.
I've heard that, yeah. And also the other wish is when he meets Yoko, the first legendary Pokemon, when he makes the rainbow, the Ho-Ho, he actually made a wish to always remain young.
Yeah.
And go on adventure.
I mean, the best part of them cartoons is Team Rocket, without a fucking shadow. They're the best part of that show. Protect the world from devastation. Do you know all people?
Talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes, guys. I'm just gonna I need to satisfy my nicotine craving. So please,
Are you going to
talk
go
amongst yourselves.
You're going to go for a dirty smoke?
Yeah, I can't smoke in my flat, so I have to go outside.
Oh, fair news. We'll see in a moment.
Yes. No worries. We'll wait.
Protect the world from devastation. Unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above. Jesse James. Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light. Surrender now, prepare to fight. So that's the best part of the show.
I do like Pokemon. I mean, who can't? But I've always kind of, with Pokemon, I always kind of felt that it's just, I think it's largely just that it's not really changed. It's kind of been the same show for like 20 years.
Well, look at fucking Power Rangers is the same show for 20 years.
True, but I like Power Rangers. I mean, I don't like Pokemon, I do, but I don't know, I just never quite got into it for it.
Hasn't quite pulled you in. I mean, I like the merchandise and I like the games and stuff, but the show, it's one of them. It's like, again, the same thing I've got with Power Rangers. It's like, I'll wear a Power Rangers t-shirt, for example, but I wouldn't sit down and actively watch the show.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, the designs are cool, the Megazords and that are cool, the toys are fantastic, particularly the Japanese stuff. The Japanese stuff's fucking amazing. And but it's just the show itself, it's just every episode's the fucking same. They send a little robot, they send a monster down, they fight it beats them, they turn into Power Rangers, it beats them again, they call the Megazord, it beats them, and then they do the Ultra Attack, end of show. You know? I mean, same thing can be said about Godzilla movies, but there's just something about the Godzilla movies that are just intrinsically fucking in my brain. Like this thing as well. Nobody ever remembers it, maybe because I'm fucking that old, but the original fucking Hanna-Barbera Godzilla.
That literally, I've never heard of that.
I know you wouldn't. Right, basically, the story is that Hanna-Barbera, back in the late 70s, wanted to do another action show because they did have Johnny Quest at this point as well. But they wanted to do another action adventure show that's a bit serious because all the shows at this point were like Scooby-Doo and all them rip-offs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Captain Caveman, which is awesome, though. But, you know, they're all basically the same show. You know, teens go to a town, there's a mystery, there's a monster, and they pull their mask off and, oh man, Winters! I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. All them types of shows. Well, so they licensed Godzilla. However, they licensed the name.
Yeah.
And that's it. So they came up with a new Godzilla.
Right.
Who is green and not grey. And introduced Godzuki as well. But Godzilla had a new raw, and he had new powers as well. He could he breathed fire and not radiation.
Right.
And he could shoot laser beams from his eyes.
Okay, that's interesting.
However, the show was really good. The animation, by today's standards, is extremely ropey, but it's really good. It's on fucking hell's it called? Kiss Cartoon.
Oh yeah. I use that quite a lot. It's a good site.
Yeah, it's check it out. It's and they give Godzilla a sort of a bit of a sidekick, you know, but it's more like it focuses on a research vessel, and there's Captain Majors, who's the captain of the ship. Then you got the scientist, who I might have had a crush on when I was a little kid, and not quite sure what a crush was, called Quinn Dorian, and she was like marine biologist, but knew everything from marine biology to astrophysics. You had their nephew Pete, and then they had the assistant Brock as well. But it was really good. I really enjoyed the show. And then every episode they'd run into a giant monster or something, and they'd call Godzilla, and he would usually beat the shit out of him.
Wasn't there a Godzilla series sometime, what was it, like early thousands, which was
based on the fucking Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Which in itself is not unlike the show I've just described, but it's based on the fucking Emmerich universe, you know? But the show was quite a good show. I think it lasted like a season, maybe?
Iguana Godzilla.
Yeah.
Zilla. It looked like a giant iguana.
Yeah, who didn't have the roar, or not quite the roar, and was killed by military jets. Now, if you've seen any Godzilla film, Godzilla just pisses through any military jets.
There's like a massive flaw in that film because early on in the film...
You know what the biggest flaw in that film is?
He's cold-blooded and they're able to lock missiles onto him. Despite the fact early on in the film, it's a case of we can't lock missiles onto him because he's cold-blooded.
Well, it was technically a stationary target, so you can lock on a stationary target, I guess. But no, you know what the biggest flaw in that film was?
It's been years since I watched it.
It was made.
Yeah. Isn't it? I've heard a story that when they wanted to do this film, the Japanese creators sent the studio a big-ass booklet of this is what you can do, this is what you can't do.
I'm not sure.
Said, basically, fuck you, we'll do what we want.
Basically, that was well, I know they got the Godzilla Bible saying that, all Godzilla's powers and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So they knew the thingy. But they just went, fuck you, we're gonna do whatever we wanted. Because he didn't have any powers, this creature. He just kind of roars and everything explodes around him. And I'm like, what? And inexplicably, there is 7 shots of a tire bouncing down the road. 7.
Of a tire. I mean, I've only ever watched it once.
Whenever an explosion of a car, I've watched it a couple of times. Whenever there's an explosion of a car, or a truck, you always see the fucking scene after of a tire bouncing down the road.
Right.
And I'm like, why is that shot there? But anyway, and I think one of them is the same shot but just reversed. But in Godzilla Final Wars, they bought the rights to the character back
and they killed him.
And they named him Zilla. And in the shortest Godzilla fight ever, the real Godzilla kicks him onto Sydney Harbour Bridge, or whips him with his tail onto Sydney Harbour Bridge, and then just breathes atomic breath on him and kills him. And I went, yep, that's what we think about your movie. It was shit. So yeah, there we are.
I mean, what's happening? I mean, speaking of Godzilla, aren't they working on a live-action film for, what is it, King of the Monsters?
Well, they're doing...
Isn't it meant to be King Kong versus Godzilla?
Oh, I was getting to that. Basically, what they're doing is, they've done Kong, haven't they?
Yeah.
The next film is Godzilla King of the Monsters, or King of Monsters, I think it's called, because they allude to it in The End of Kong.
Yeah, they do.
So potentially we might see King Ghidorah, and I think after that one they'll be doing King Kong versus Godzilla.
Apparently, the next Godzilla film is going to be up against Mothra.
No, him and Mothra are going to team up against King Ghidorah.
Right.
Well, there'll be a bit of a fight between them first because it's a team-up movie. Like, any of the superhero films, they always have a bit of a fight first before they have to team up together.
Yeah.
It's just superhero rules, So, what the fuck's that? Ow. Sorry, there's 10p piece just digging into my pocket, in my pocket, digging into my leg. I'm looking forward to it because I liked the Gareth Edwards Godzilla, but the only problem with that film is every time Godzilla showed up, they cut to the fucking army guys doing shit.
Yeah, which was the only annoying thing about that. I will admit, when I went to see that film, the last 20 minutes, I was kind of thinking to myself, it's been all right, but I'm a bit disappointed with just how they've done it. The moment I saw Godzilla's spines glow blue, I was like, yes!
Yeah, I have to say, the live action Godzilla in the 90s, I didn't know if I thought that was that good. I do remember going to see it when I was a kid, and it came out in 1998.
Godzilla. And then looks like a giant iguana to me.
Yeah.
Or at least that version.
Well, this one is the legendary one, the one we've been talking about. SH Monster Arts one. It was quite a lovely thing, actually. I like the design of it. I think it's great.
It is.
And then I've got the Final Wars version, which is my favourite version of the Godzilla suit.
I need to get Final Wars. I've heard it's really good.
Oh, it's so cheesy, but it's so good. And one of my favourite Godzilla figures I've got.
Oh, wow.
Versus Rainbow Dash. That'd be a good one.
Well, Godzilla would just come out and go, squelch. Yeah, so I've got Final Wars, which is one of the best versions of the suit, and then we've got Legendary, which I didn't mind. I thought it was a good design. I mean, I love the spines on the back; they're quite nasty, quite nice. And he's pointy as fuck, this guy. You know, you won't see that in fucking Entertainer, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But then again, I do love them spines. They're awesome. But yeah, but when in the film, when he's at the end of the tail, it just goes, and then you go, ah! And then he fucking opens the mouth and just breathes down the neck. I'm like, oh, that's you are fucked now, sir. Well, you can stand there, and you can stand. I need a space for you guys, really. You just put in a box up a minute. You can stand up there. Stay. So yeah, I do love my Godzilla movies. Yeah, you definitely should get Final Wars.
I've heard it's a good film.
I've got I ain't got many on DVD. I need to rectify this. What have I got? Oh yeah, I've got Godzilla vs Biollante, which is pretty cool. Or if I say mutant clone of a plant with Godzilla DNA and this scientist's daughter's DNA, because that can't go wrong, can it?
That sounds like a very deadly creature.
Yeah, then I've got Godzilla versus Space Godzilla and Godzilla versus Death Destroyer.
Yeah, I've got the original Japanese King Kong versus Godzilla, but I've never watched it. I should put it on.
I've got Godzilla 2000, which is quite a good film, actually. Where he fights a creature called Auger. And then I've got...
Can you get those in the UK, Tony, or do you have to get them shipped over from the States? Or
States. These are all off Amazon, these. Then I've got Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which is a fucking brilliant one. When he fights Mecha King Ghidorah. And then Godzilla vs. Mothra as well, which is pretty cool. And then I've got Final Wars.
I know, aren't there some like giant robot Godzilla films? Because they said you know the Dragon Zord in Power Rangers was could be kind of like a robotic Godzilla.
Yeah, I've got Gamera as well, the friend of the universe, which is Guardian of the Universe, which is awesome. No, there's Godzilla, then there's Mecha Godzilla, right, which is a robot Godzilla. Because in Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, they basically Godzilla shows up and just starts destroying the town again, and then it works out that, and then another Godzilla shows up and they have a bit of a fight, and then it turns out that one of the Godzillas is actually a Terminator, which turns out to be Mecha Godzilla. And then there's Terror of Mecha Godzilla, which I think is the finest of the Showa era. I think it's the last of the Showa era, to be honest. And then there's Space Godzilla, which is Godzilla because in Godzilla versus Mothra, his DNA gets intercepted by a black hole and then becomes Space Godzilla. I didn't fucking make this shit up. I'm just telling you what the film is.
Yeah.
And then Space Godzilla is basically the Godzilla suit, but his spines are all made of crystal, and he's got these two fucking huge crystals on his shoulders, and he's got like a crown sort of head thing going on. And then he shoots what they call gravity beams out of his mouth. And then there's in the next era they did Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and then they did Godzilla versus which they named Kiryu. Now, because the Godzilla that they fight in this one is the son of Godzilla, and they use the bones of the original Godzilla in the Mechagodzilla suit, and then the Mechagodzilla suit remembers he's the original Godzilla and goes out of control because Godzilla films. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's been a few different Godzillas over the years.
Wasn't the original Godzilla film, the very first incarnation, wasn't it effectively more like a protest film against the development of nuclear weapons?
Basically, yeah. It's like, well, this is what could potentially happen.
Mm.
Some kind of mutation, and you know what I mean. It's the extreme end of it, but still, it's kind of a warning. But it sold like gangbusters in both America and Japan. So they went, we'll do another one. And they brought another one out 9 months later, brought another Godzilla out, Godzilla raids again. But there's a sequel to Godzilla versus King Kong called King Kong Escapes, where King Kong fights. Well, there's some contesting names of what it's called. He fights a robot Kong. Some people call him Robot Kong. Some people call him Mecha King Kong. But I like the term Mechana Kong. So he fights a giant fucking robot King Kong. And the bloke who designed it is called Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I'm not even making any of that up. That's all true.
I'm sure there are some other doctors called Doctor Who, so other than the Doctor Who. So.
Yeah, but he's called Doctor Who, which is kind of. But then his costume is not unlike William Hartnell's, so it's kind of like, is that an evil Doctor? Who creates fucking Mecha King Kong? That has got to be the fucking coolest thing in the world, Mecha King Kong. Come on now. Yeah, I gotta love King Kong. Yeah.
Did you prefer Kong of Skull Island to Peter Jackson's remake of the original film? Or?
I like both. The problem, well, you see, there's also King Kong that did in the 70s as well. It's 79, yeah. I think, where he climbs up the World Trade Center. That's why it's probably not to be able to, And then they did a sequel to that, which is awful, which is fucking shite. I can't remember what they call it. Is it King Kong Lives? I think it was. Oh my lord, that's a shite film. Do you know what? I quite like the 70s version of King Kong as well, because that's quite a good film. And Peter Jackson's is quite good. And they make reference to the original as well in that. When Jack Black is naming actresses, and he goes, and his mate says to him, "Oh, what about Fay Wray?" And he goes, "No, we couldn't get her because she's doing a thing for RKO, who did King Kong originally."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I like it. Very cool. Yeah, very cool."
It was the original and Arrow. In 1933, the original came out, wasn't it?
23. And today it's still one of the best movies ever made. I've got the box set somewhere. It's got that on it. It's got King Kong versus Godzilla, and it's got King Kong Escapes, which is the best title ever.
Back a minute. I just need to go to the loo.
All right, no worries. See you in a bit.
Just guzzled a full energy drink. I'm not keeping you guys up late, am I? Do you guys need to be up for work or anything? Or?
Nah, I'm not awake till 2 in the afternoon tomorrow, so I'm all right.
Same here, mate. I don't start till 2.
Yeah. So, but yeah. But now I've watched a film with King Kong, a Gundam, the Iron Giant, and Mechagodzilla in the same film. All right. Yep. More of this, please. More of this.
I am curious about. Well, I'm gonna fair. I mean, it's only like 2 weeks away now. Infinity Wars.
Oh, yeah. That is going to be awesome.
Well,
But people are going, oh my God, it's not going to be the same. And I went, I know it's not going to be the same. That's the whole point. Captain America's going to die. Blah, blah. Well, I said he might. But then Bucky will become Captain America. And I've got no problem with this because he does that in the comics. You know? Bucky was Cap for a while. Even Sam Worthington was Cap for a while. You know, Falcon. I'm happy with Rhodey becoming Iron Man for a bit. Makes sense. He did that in the comics. I'm quite happy for Thor to become a woman like he did in the comics. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. But you'll get an outcry going, oh my God, I can't believe it. Fucking shut up. It's just a film, you know. And then, because you can give all the principal cast a rest, but then bring them back for something huge later. You know, they can have a couple of years off. And then you've got, like, you know, you can do Guardians 3. Well, there's Ant-Man and the Wasp into the next after Infinity War. And then we're on to Phase 4, which I believe the Fantastic Four might be popping back up.
I heard they aren't going to be doing a Fantastic Four anymore. Haven't they ended it?
No, because Disney bought Fox, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, they did, yeah.
And Fox did own X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Since now they've gone back to Disney, they'll go back to Marvel. So...
Damn, did they utterly fuck up Fantastic Four.
Which,
I wish I did not see that film. I regret.
I still haven't seen it, and I'm not going to.
Just don't. It's a complete mockery of the franchise, and I regret seeing it.
The reason they made it is because if they didn't make it,
they had to make a film every 5 years or something.
Yeah, and because it didn't do well, they went, fine, fuck it. You know what I mean? I mean, there've been 4 Fantastic Four films, if you count the Roger Corman one that was never released. But
is that the one that they did in the 90s?
Yeah, which is awful. But it's that kind of entertainingly awful, you know?
Regarding that 2012 Fantastic Four film that I regret seeing,
2012, as far back as that?
I'm sure it was 2012.
No, it's not that old.
Or is it 2013?
No, I think it's 2015. It's not that old. Surely not. The last couple of years.
2015, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah.
I mean, one of the things I heard was that basically they did a ton of cutting, editing, and reshooting, half of it without the director's permission.
Yep, they did that. They also put a lot of scenes in the trailer that weren't in the film, like when the thing jumps out of an airplane onto a tank. That wasn't in the film, but it was in the trailer. They did a ton of reshoots, and it's painful to see because you can see in some shots she's got a normal long hair, and in other shots it's a wig. And you can see it's a wig, you know. And it was like, Billy Elliot as the Thing. I'm like, really, Billy Elliot as the Thing? I don't see that at all. See, Michael Chiklis in the original ones looked the part, you know.
Because I know from the original trailer for it, the idea behind the Thing originally was that he was kind of going to be almost like turn into a rock and then be born from a rock.
But the thing is, Korg in Thor Ragnarok, because when he turns up and he goes, "Oh yes," and he goes, "Yes, I'm Korg. I'm a living rock. You know, some people call me a thing," and I'm like, "Oh, fucking yes, like it." You know, but I think the biggest controversial move was making Johnny Storm a black guy. What the fuck's that?
My Little Pony, the movie.
Oh, get off. Get off. Get off.
You've got it as well, haven't you, Sam?
Yes. Oh, look. There's 2 copies right there.
I've got another copy.
Why the fuck do I know you two? Why? Why?
Because you have no choice. One of the things as well, Turn, about that film, apparently I heard originally they were going to be true and like honest and stick to the guns regarding Doctor Doom. because Doctor Doom in that film is that is a brilliant film. Doctor Doom in that film is so bad. He's not even Doom. He's something else.
Right. They make him a computer hacker, and like then say that, and I'm like, well, the term hacker hasn't been a thing since about '98, for one, right? Two, how the fuck do you fuck up Doom? Oh wait, they've done it twice now. You know, he doesn't like Reed Richards. There was an accident that caused him to hate him, and it's the accident that caused him to put the fucking gear on. And it's like, because I always thought of Doctor Doom as the anti-Iron Man, where Iron Man's costume is technology and Doctor Doom is magic.
Yeah.
Because it's magically endowed armor. So I like it. I like the fact that I always thought he was the anti-Tony Stark, which kind of makes sense. So he's got powers, but different kinds of powers.
And there's also the fact that nobody knows where the real Doom is, because every Doom turns out to be a robot.
Turns out to be a Doombot, and there was one issue of the comics where one of the Doombots actually thought he was the real Doom, and the real Doom had to work with the Fantastic Four to fight this Doombot, and the one that was helping him was a fucking Doombot. It's like, what? Hey?
So where's the real Doom?
Alive at this point? You know, there's always a fucking Doombot. There's always a Doombot. But I mean, the thing is, Doctor Doom, you know, the fact that he's the leader of his own country, so that gives him diplomatic immunity as well. So they can't really do anything to him when he's in the States because he's got diplomatic immunity. And the fact that you've got, well, Stan Lee said years ago that all Doctor Doom wants is to take over the world, but that's not against the law, right? Wanting to take over the world, there's no crime. You know, there's no law that says you can't, there's no thing. So all he wants to do is take over the world. But the thing is, though, he's a dictator of a fascist country, but it's a prosperous country. And all the citizens think Doctor Doom's marvelous, you know? And he is, technically, just hates Reed Richards and wants to kill him. You know, and wants ultimate power for himself because he goes after the Beyonder and, you know, kind of gets what he wants.
I reckon they're going to do Secret Wars.
But you see, I think so as well. I think what we'll do is that's the next big thing, unless they're going to do Avengers versus X-Men first, which I can see them doing that first because you can bring the X-Men in.
To the cinematic universe, maybe.
I think that's probably the best way to go is X-Men versus Avengers, right? Because everybody knows who the X-Men are and everybody knows the Avengers are now. Secret Wars might be just... Well, they could also do Secret Invasion as well. That would probably be a good one to go with. Because if you do it that way...
The Secret Wars at the end of the series, that's when Peter Parker, he teamed up with all the alternate versions of himself, didn't he?
In the TV show, yeah.
Yeah. And he met Stan Lee. He goes to
in the very last episode, yeah. It was a good series, that, actually. And I like the fact that the X-Men popped up and they were all voiced by their voice actors from the X-Men show. And everyone was on the screen, it went da-da-dun. I was like, yeah. Because he goes to see the X-Men because he starts mutating into the man spider, doesn't he? And he starts... Yeah. And he goes, oh, can you help me? And he's like, well, that's not what we do.
Because like, for the team he picks, like for his team, is Iron Man, Captain America, Storm, the Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had to keep the cast small because then I think there was only 2 episodes. So they had to keep the cast small and they cut out a lot of stuff. Now, you see, the way they could do Secret Wars is they could do... because in the end, like in the comics, the end of each issue, before the event happened, they're all passing New York and they all see this like weird thing in Central Park and then they disappear. You could do that with the end of, the last scene of the film, the end of the credits. You could have, say Ant-Man and Wasp, for example, right? And at the end of the credits, you see Spidey sort of busting some guy. And then he's swinging around, and then he goes, oh, Spider Sense tingling. What's that flash in Central Park? goes to investigate, and then just a Q flash and he's gone. And then you could do, the next film would be, I don't know, Black Panther 2, same thing. You've got Captain America or Bucky or somebody, you know, just in New York, and again, same thing. Or wherever they happen to be. Hey, what's that weird thing over there? Q flash, they've gone again. You know, so you could tie it in, because you could do it, and if you do it right, it should intrigue you enough for the average cinema goer to go, well, what was that? But for us fanboys to go, oh my God, they're doing Secret Wars, holy shit. You know? And that's all it would. And the Beyonder should be voiced by John Delancey.
Yeah.
It should be just...
Yeah, I know there's talks bringing Madam Web into the films as well.
Yeah, because Madam Web in the cartoon was voiced by Joni Lee, you know, Stan's wife.
Yeah.
But I think if they're going to do Secret Wars, the Beyonder should be voiced by John Delancey, you know, as Q. You know, that would be brilliant. You know, that kind of playful but mischievous but kind of malevolent as well that Q can do. And it should just be a flashing thing in the sky.
Yeah.
You know, just like a big flash that speaks in a completely black sky and a single planet and a single star. And then flash, flash, flash when he speaks. You know, like Q from Q Who, that version of Q.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like, oh, you think you're awesome, dear? No, you're not really, though, are you? You know? And then, because I really want to see Galactus on the big screen for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I hope they do that.
It's what?
If they bring in the Fantastic Four, they have to bring in the Silver Surfer. So,
yeah. I want to see Galactus. Again, you could do it at the end of credits. You could see, you know, like a gigantic spaceship, and then, you know, sort of the camera sort of goes through the ship, and you see different computers and all weird things flying through the ship, and then it comes to the back of his head, and it's just kind of obscured by something, but you see the fucking horns of his helmet, and the camera sort of spins around. Oh no, you see like a graphic, like a hologram of Earth or something, and then it spins around and you see Galactus real close to the camera. I'll be like, you know, I could do these stingers, couldn't I?
That's what they did with Thanos, the end credits of the first Avengers film. That's how they did Thanos. Effectively, they had the
something like that, yeah. Enough.
Yeah, I mean, so many films now add these post-credit scenes in, which is normally a nod to the next one.
And I've been saying to different people how they could do it. You know, like I said, the whole Galactus thing that I just said, that'd be a perfect post-credit scene. And then you could do.
So this is why I'll be. I mean, I know we're not likely to get it, but if they don't do a sequel to the Power Rangers film after that post-credit scene about introducing Tommy,
didn't make enough money to warrant a sequel.
Yeah, and that's a shame because I enjoyed that film. I thought it was great. Again, silly nonsense fun. It
had a $100 million budget and it only made $124 million at the box office.
Yeah. So it just made profit, but just not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, a good way of introducing Fantastic Four, and I've said this to a couple of people, is this, right? What you should do is this. Whatever film, end of post-credit sequence, you see somebody that you can't quite make out watching a big TV, right, of the news, and it says something like, Reed Richards gets key to the city, or something, you know, and Fantastic Four do it again, or something like that, right? And actually, Nick, True Phantasm, gave me this idea, and I'll explain it in a minute. But you can have something like that, Fantastic Four win the day, something like that, and a new group of superheroes have popped up, calling themselves the Fantastic Four, and it cuts round, and you just close up of two eyes behind a thingy, and he simply says, "Soon, Richards, soon," like that, and that's it. Black, fade to black, and that is enough there to go. Ooh, Fantastic Four. But this is what Nick came up with, and I really like this idea. What if, excuse me, what if the Fantastic Four were around in the 60s, right, but disappeared into the negative zone, right, and they've been there, they think they've only been there 2 or 3 weeks, and they come back, and it's now 2018, 2019, or whenever the film's coming out. So you've got the 60s version of the Fantastic Four, but in modern day. Flying the bathtub fucking Fantastica, all that sort of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then having to work out where they are, and you could have the whole montage of them trying to fit back in. You know, like the Thing trying to do a touchscreen phone and getting them mad and throwing it at somebody. You know, that sort of thing. It would explain the Fantastic Four have been there the whole time, but that's why they've not been around the whole time. Because they think they've only been in the negative zone a couple of weeks, or the Phantom Zone, whichever one it is in the Marvel Universe, can never remember. Negative zone. You know, battling fucking some kind of interdimensional demon, and they come back, and it's now 2019. Makes sense. I really like that idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's an interesting one. I mean, I am curious about what the future of Marvel will hold. I mean, obviously, Secret Wars is an obvious thing, but I mean, how far is Marvel going to go? Do they have an end game?
From what I understand, they've got movies planned until at least 2021.
So another.
Yeah, and I know one thing we'll probably never see on the big screen is that there were joint Marvel and DC comic crossovers, but they said I don't think we'll happen.
But saying that, it might. Right now, it's like with Masterpiece figures. You can't say never, never ever. I mean, look at how many references, how many licenses it must have got to make a Ready Player One for one thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't discount it. It's unlikely, yes, but at this point in time, I wouldn't discount anything like that at the moment.
Well, no, I mean, there's agreements. I heard a rumor from someone that Disney also planned to buy DC, and if they have the rights to both DC and Marvel, then obviously they can do it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if that's the plan.
The problem, the fear I've got is that we're going to get so saturated with superhero films, it's going to be a point where nobody will be bothered anymore. And it'll just
hard
die.
to keep up with them all.
I mean, Disney are going, oh, yes, money, please. I think what they should do is, after Ant-Man and Wasp, they should tone it right down. Only give us 2 movies a year instead of 4, right? Or, you know, even 1 movie a year. Just for a couple of years.
Yeah, one Marvel film, 1 DC film a year.
Yeah, because that way you're not oversaturated with it. It's not a point where you think, oh, fucking hell, not another superhero film, you know, blah, blah, blah. Can't be arsed with this one. You know, I don't want to get to that point where I get bored of them.
No.
No matter how good they are, I just, another super, show me something new, you know? I want to see something different. Now, if they do it right, they should, like I say, tone it back a bit and just, you know, just sort of spoon feed us and go, oh yeah, you like superhero films. Well, we're not gonna do so many next year. We're just gonna let it ride a bit. Like Star Wars, I'm getting a bit of a concern with that as well. Again, because it's like we're getting.
Yeah, well, you know, I know I've heard rumors that after Episode 9, we'll have 3 anthology films. There's going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi one after the Solo film.
Well, the jury's still out with that, isn't it? Nobody's said for sure that they're going to do it yet.
No, it is happening.
Is it?
Ewan McGregor's already started training for it. It is happening.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know there were several rumours that I think I have heard that they potentially want to do episode 10, 11, and 12. I don't know if Disney are just going to keep dishing them out to make more and more money.
Disney will more than likely keep doing Star Wars until they destroy it.
I think Disney are quite smart with it. I think what we'll do is, right, we're getting Solo, and then next year it's episode 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lawrence has just said, I think what they'll do is they'll give us maybe a couple of Star Wars story films and then leave it a couple of years because it was, hang on, when did Revenge of the Sith come out? That come out
2005.
And then it wasn't until 10 years, 2015, when Thingy came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Force Awakens, yeah.
Yeah, so that would work out quite well, actually. If they give us, say, 3 anthology films in the 10 years, that's 2 years apiece nearly, isn't it? In between 7, 8, and 9, I'd be happy with that, I think.
So I wonder what the next anthology film is then after Solo.
Well, I heard rumours that there was going to be a Boba Fett one, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
No.
And they've had rumours that Yoda's going to get his own anthology film about him as his younger self.
I don't think we need a Yoda film though.
There was another rumour they were going to do a Darth Vader one.
But they don't need a Darth Vader one because we've had fucking 6 films with him in it.
Mm.
And that is Vader's
7.
story.
Well, yeah, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, and he appeared in Rogue One.
Yeah, but it was only as a cameo because yes, he was there at that time during those events. That makes sense. But the film wasn't about him, was it?
No.
But yeah, we don't need
It's
a Vader
about that team that foreshadowed the events of A New Hope.
See, I mean, you could literally do anything in that universe. You could take some of the books. Actually, what I'd like to see, to be fair, would be Knights of the Old Republic timeline films.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I even heard from a friend that there were rumours that they were going to actually remake Episode 3, but I don't think that would happen. In my opinion,
there's no reason to remake it.
There is no. You're right. There is no reason. I think the way to do it actually is instead of doing 10, 11, 12, is give us Knights of the Old Republic trilogy in the intervening years, and I'll be Darth Revan, yes please, because he is now canon because they mentioned him a couple of times on Rebels.
Yeah,
who's that?
So. Yeah, that's that era, 1,000 years before the main story. Yeah, please, because the Knights of the Old Republic is very much beloved by Star Wars fans. That timeline, because there's a lot of
something like
the games are great.
Darth Plagueis, who was Senator Palpatine's apprentice, Senator Palpatine was his apprentice. I'd like to see a story about him.
Well,
I'm still convinced it might still be Snoke. It was Darth Plagueis.
The accepted theory is that Snoke is Plagueis. And an interesting fact about Plagueis is that there's a rumor, well, not a rumor, it's actually been confirmed that bloody hell, I'm trying to remember what's his name. Oh, but give me a second. I will remember. That was it. And it's Andy Serkis, isn't it, who plays Snoke?
Yeah.
Andy Serkis came out a few months ago and pretty much confirmed that he knows Snoke's true identity, that he knows who he is.
Well,
for me, that's the problem. Was the problem with The Last Jedi is that they killed Snoke off, but they didn't give a full explanation of who he actually was.
I'm going to get to that. In Episode 3, Palpatine is telling Anakin about Darth Plagueis that he could cheat death. Right? And that he killed Plagueis. Now, my theory is that Snoke is Plagueis because Plagueis then, because he can cheat death, brought himself back to life, right?
Yeah.
And then sort of hid for a couple of years, maybe not in the best of shape, sort of like regenerating and making himself, a bit more manageable. And then we see him in episode 8 rather, and he gets killed again by Kylo Ren. So my theory is that he can regenerate himself back from the dead and then go, yes, I'm Darth Plagueis, haha, it was me all along. Or where they were fighting, it was a holodeck and he killed a hologram of him.
There's another theory that basically the Plagueis that Kylo Ren killed. There's a theory that Plagueis was force projecting himself, and
yeah, that's it,
yeah. Like Luke Skywalker did.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at a much higher level. Because whereas Luke was like a hologram, the theory is that Plagueis was a master of it and could convince people he was physically there.
Yeah, and showing that he was physically dead, as in, sliced with a lightsaber. I mean, that could all be put into Kylo's head.
Because if you believe possible that Plagueis wasn't even in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a force projection, but such a convincing one that it looked like he was dead as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, lads, I'm gonna go. Been great chatting. Probably chatted more than most.
Yeah.
If you two want to carry on, it's fine. I'm going to bow out.
It's great to talk to you, Tony, because I've not seen you. I've not seen you face to face since last year.
Yeah. I say I'm usually up for a chat. It's just trying to catch me at the right time if I'm in, and and I'll catch you later. Bye, everyone at home, especially you. How do I get out of this? There we go. See you later, lads. Bye.
Yeah. You all right then?
Yeah, all good, mate.
Yeah, we'll just chat for a few more minutes and then shall we call it?
Yeah, no worries.
It's been a long, combined with the two that we did, I think we've chatted for over nearly 4 hours.
Yeah, about that actually.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory about Snoke. That he could actually, it could have been a hologram. Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
It would be interesting. You see, part of the thing that gets me as well, that generally puts me in perspective here. I know it's already been confirmed that J.J. Abrams is directing Episode 9.
Yeah.
So what's happening is all the haters are spewing crap, saying that, J.J. Abrams had a plan and that The Last Jedi, the director, messed it all up, and The Last Jedi destroys everything that The Force Awakens set up. But here's the argument. The Force Awakens didn't set anything up. If you really think about it, all it did was introduce the new characters, set up the genuine plot for what's happened for basically 30 years after the Empire fell. Yeah. And effectively, there is nothing in that film that basically says Supreme Commander Snoke is a very important character. There's nothing in the film that says that Rey's parents are very important to the story.
No, but the thing is, you kind of knew what happened because when she's in the gambling place and she finds that she finds Luke's old lightsaber. She has that flashback of being left, and that kind of explains what happened. It's revealed in The Last Jedi that she kind of knew about her parents, that they were no one special, but she didn't want to believe it.
Yeah. It makes sense in a way because the problem was people spent 2 years coming up with weird theories and everybody was convinced that, you'll find out who Snoke is, you'll find out who Rey's parents are, that's all that matters. What The Last Jedi did was it did the same thing that Empire Strikes Back did. It hit the reset button. Because in Empire Strikes Back, you've got the biggest reveal in cinematic science fiction.
Yeah, I know, and that, I mean, it's this kind of thing. Oh, one other thing I'd like to say is, now that George Lucas is no longer in control, I hope that they release the original theatrical versions of the original trilogy on Blu-ray. They don't do anything to any of the footage, but they bring up the high definition,
Yeah, it would certainly be interesting.
Yeah. Because after fans badgered George Lucas to do it for years because he was so against it, he says the special editions are the definitive versions.
Yeah.
But so many people just wanted the original versions. And like when you got these double DVDs that came out, in 2006. So because I bought them all, and on the bonus disc there was the option to watch the original versions, theatrical versions, but they were just direct imports from the laser discs. So unless you were watching on a very small telly, if you watch on a high definition or widescreen telly, it didn't look good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, I've never actually seen the originals.
You know, well, to say, you know, that Jabba the Hutt scene in A New Hope where Jabba meets Han Solo, that wasn't in the original version at all.
Right.
Originally, Jabba the Hutt didn't make his screen debut till Return of the Jedi.
I mean, I do know that A New Hope, there's the version that we've probably all seen was vastly different from the original cinematic release.
Yeah.
But I've never seen the original release. I didn't even know you could still get it, to be honest.
Well, it's not been available for years, but in 2006, for a very brief time, there was like a double pack of a DVD, which had the special editions and the theatrical versions as well, the original one. Because when in 1997, my dad took me to see A New Hope when it was re-released.
Yeah,
because it was the success of and see that film on the big screen was amazing, and he remembers going to see it back in 1977 on. But the whole success of the prequels coming out was the whole success of the special editions, I think, was what prompted George Lucas to do the prequels.
I think the problem largely with the prequels was that I think people were expecting a bit too much.
Yeah, they were.
And I think the other issue is you kind of have to look at the prequels from the perspective that they are the story of Anakin Skywalker. And although I would say that Episode 3 was very, very predictable, but because everybody knew what was coming, my biggest complaint about Episode 3 is that Order 66 was so watered down, it didn't have the impact it should have had.
No, it didn't. I mean, yeah, this is the thing. You knew that this was meant to be sort of the origins of Darth Vader, but the thing about the trade negotiations, that politics story they put in, became the main focus of them.
Yeah.
Not the story of Anakin, and that indeed was a big letdown because Star Wars was about good versus evil, and then suddenly they bring a politics story in.
The other thing as well is the fact that they had to link Tatooine into everything. I mean, there was no need to really do that. You could easily, in fact, it would have made more sense to have. I mean, why not just have Anakin Skywalker as a student at the Jedi Temple that Obi-Wan meets, and Obi-Wan basically decides to start training him and take him under his wing and kind of like adopt him as his student. There was no need to really have Tatooine linked in the way they linked.
And also, when Obi-Wan comes as a Force ghost from Return of the Jedi after Yoda's died, and he says that he found Anakin, and he said he felt he could train Anakin as well as Yoda could. He never says anything about his former master. Well,
that's the thing. The prequel trilogy kind of contradicts what the original trilogy set up. See, one of the things that I love about Darth Vader, what makes his character so great, is he is the definition of a redemption story.
Yeah, he is.
In the Return of the Jedi, you've got that absolutely brilliant moment where Palpatine's blasting Luke with lightning, it's killing him really slowly, really torturing him, and he's screaming at Vader, help me, Father, help me. And Vader doesn't say a thing. He just stands there, and he's looking at Luke, looking at Palpatine, and back and forth, and eventually he just grabs Palpatine and throws him down the shaft. And then what kind of gets you the best part about the later scene is when he's dying, and he's like,
Luke, he really did fulfill his destiny, didn't he? He did bring balance to the Force.
But the best part is is when he says, it says to Luke, to help me take this mask off, let me see with my own eyes. He's like, but you'll die. And he says, nothing can stop that now. And then I love how when he takes Vader's helmet off, and you see the man for the first time as a broken, weak man who is really being kept alive by that suit. And you really start to think, this is a man who was suffering and has been suffering all these years, and it really hits you because that's the beauty of that.
Yeah, I mean, this is what one of the things I argue that the prequel got right is when in episode 3, when you see Anakin burning, the exact scars that you saw on his head in Return of the Jedi, you actually see those parts of him burn.
Yeah,
they did get that right. What was it? Yeah, as I say, Darth Vader, he's got a place in movie history I think no other villain will ever have.
No, he's considered to be the greatest movie villain of all time. He's the original movie villain, though. That's the thing. That's what makes him so unique.
Yeah, so I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, there are several rumors that the Emperor deliberately made the suit kind of torture him to make him suffer more.
Yeah, he did. That's canon. That is actually canon. Basically, after Vader, after his defeat on Mustafar, Palpatine could have just left him to die. He could literally just have abandoned him and left him to die. But he didn't, because he needed an enforcer. He needed somebody to carry out his will. And after Vader was basically put inside the suit, he was a shell of his former self. He was not as powerful as he once was. Palpatine, as he said, he purposely had the suit done so it caused Vader pain, and it was really clunky, and it was bad. He did it to basically punish him. And I don't know, have you read the recent Vader comics?
I haven't read them in full, but there's this really good guy on YouTube who does Star Wars theories. A channel called Star Wars Theory.
Yeah, I watch it.
He talks an awful lot about the comics, and I've heard all the things that are canon, which is basically the reason why Palpatine wanted to physically, partly the reason why he wanted to physically weaken Darth Vader was because partly the reason he didn't want Anakin to get to a point where he could overthrow him.
Yeah.
And also the punishment just made him give into his hate, ultimately punishing him for his failure to defeat Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it's pretty much as you say it, Lawrence. You see, the thing with Vader is the beautiful thing about Empire Strikes Back, when they were filming it, when they were doing the original filming, literally to protect the secret, they literally didn't let the actors read past certain points in the script.
No, I did remember hearing that. Yeah, it was literally just as they were filming that lightsaber battle that I think they told Mark Hamill what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah.
And also, the part in Empire Strikes Back where to make Han Solo jealous at the beginning, Leia kisses Luke.
Yeah.
They hadn't decided at that point that they were actually going to be brother and sister.
I mean, Game of Thrones decided to take that and actually pretty much go down the full route of brother-sister incest. So, yeah. God, I'd love to know what J.R. Martin's internet search is.
I haven't read a lot of the alternate universe, the non-canon Star Wars comics, but
have you read Star Wars Infinities?
No. Is that the one where rather than Darth Vader dying, he comes back to the good side and he wears a white suit?
It's basically it's the original. It's New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, but it's done from an alternative position. So, for example, in A New Hope, Luke doesn't destroy the Death Star, and it's able to destroy the Rebel base.
Yeah.
What happens is Leia is captured by Vader and is trained by Vader and becomes a Sith. And Luke spends about 5 or 6 years training with Yoda, and it ends up with Luke and Leia having a big fight, and it's really good. And then it's like each version of the film is done in a way that is different, but similar. It's really clever. It's worth reading.
Yeah. What was yeah. I'll just say, have you noticed every time the Star Wars films have been either re-released to DVD or Blu-ray, they've made more changes to them, that are completely unnecessary.
Yeah, like the Blu-ray release of Return of the Jedi in that pinnacle scene with Vader and Palpatine and Luke. Instead of being silent, Vader shouts out, "No!"
Yeah, they sampled the audio from Revenge of the Sith directly. I heard when he
do that. The fact that Vader doesn't say a word in that scene is what makes it so great. Because you don't know what Vader's thinking. You don't know what he's going to do. In fact, I'd like to see an alternative Star Wars story. What would have happened if Palpatine had killed Luke? What would the outcome for that be? Because the outcome would still be the same. The Death Star would be destroyed. Nothing would stop that. But with Luke being killed, there wouldn't be anybody left to train Leia. Leia would be the only person left that would have the potential to become a Jedi, but there'd be nobody to train her. So it would be pretty interesting to see what the outcome would be.
I suppose you could argue that, obviously Yoda came back as a Force ghost in Episode 8. So maybe Force Ghost Jedi could still train them. Not physically, but they could guide them.
It's an interesting theory. I know there's a lot of different things. One of the theories is that one of the theories would be that Palpatine would have killed Luke and killed Vader, escaped from the Death Star before it was destroyed, and probably either have gone into hiding, or he would have taken out the rebellion.
Oh, as I said, do you remember there used to be merchandise for a book series which is called Shadows of the Empire?
Yes.
Which is basically a load of merchandise that was set after the films. That there was actually a figure of Luke with a red lightsaber.
Yeah, so Shadow of the Empire is a book where Luke basically turns to the dark side. It's set about 15 years after Return of the Jedi, and he basically turns to the dark side after he ends up traveling to the planet Biss, and it turns out that the planet Biss is actually the Empire's true seat of power. And he meets the Emperor. Well, he basically finds out that the Emperor had the ability to transfer his consciousness, and he basically is now living in a clone body of himself.
Yeah.
And Luke kind of turns to the dark side and becomes the Emperor's new apprentice. It's a good story. It's worth reading.
Yeah, I remember seeing all the merchandise. The very first convention I went to, which is the one Tony was talking about, he was there, and was mainly Star Wars things, and they had all that merchandise. I never owned any of the Shadows of the Empire figures, but I do remember seeing them. What was it? Will Disney consider, continue doing more TV series? Like, probably, will there be something now that takes place in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens?
It's possible. It's possible, but the thing is, there's so much going on. It's kind of hard to really guess if they will.
Did you go and see Star Wars: The Clone Wars at the cinema back in 2008?
You mean that animated films?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I did, and I thought, I know there was already the 2D Star Wars Clone Wars series, which actually wasn't very good, but the 3D one is better. But since it's meant to be canon, it is meant to be canon with the movies, these characters like Asajj Ventress, and you had Ahsoka. It did give her a closing story, so they don't, obviously, because she doesn't appear in the films.
Well, I do like. I've always liked Ahsoka. Ahsoka is just an absolutely really good character. In my mind, Ahsoka was and is the probably she was the best character in Star Wars Clone Wars, largely because she was about the only character that had any real development. She did develop a hell of a lot.
Yeah, you know, the bit where she dies in Rebels, where she sacrifices herself. I mean, that was a good scene. You know, to see her fight with Darth Vader was.
Have you seen the final season of Rebels yet?
Not yet, no. I've got a lot to catching up to do.
Yeah, you need to watch the final season. It's really, really good.
I don't know if I like, what's his name? Is it Ezra? The main character?
I like Ezra. He's an interesting character. Yeah, it certainly is interesting. The thing with Star Wars in general, I will say this. I think Disney resurrected it because before Disney kind of went in and bought out Star Wars, or bought out LucasArts, there was nothing happening with Star Wars. Like, literally, for about pretty much after Episode 3, there was the Star Wars Clone Wars series, which was really good. Then after that, that was it. There was nothing. There was like at least 6 games that never came out or were cancelled. And the franchise was just stagnating. There was nothing coming out. And then Disney bought them out. And I think Disney really refreshed Star Wars. They bought it back and they really kind of made it popular again. They bought it back and made it popular.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. This is one of the good things. I think it's about that they're continuing the film franchise. I think would have been a pretty bad note to go down on. And I say Episode 3 for me was a bit of a recovery from the other two, but the dialogue in Episode 3 was just as bad because none of it made any sense. They had to just quickly slot everything into place so that it's all in place for the original film.
Yeah, exactly.
But one interesting theory I had heard, something was changed, is it said in the deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith, it turns out it's actually Padme that's formed the first alliance of the rebellion after she learned about Anakin. She formed the first alliance of the rebellion. But that scene was removed, but it's available to see on the Blu-ray.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in Episode 3 that was cut, and a lot of the stuff that they cut literally explains so much. I mean, as you say, there's tons of stuff in it which basically explains how the rebellion was formed, because there is the whole scene with Padme and the Mon Mothma and the founders of the rebellion all talking about basically forming the rebellion. And if they kept that in, it would have made a lot of sense because there was a lot of holes in Episode 3.
One plot hole they did fix was I liked it that they did say that C-3PO was going to get his mind wiped, so that it made sense why he couldn't remember, Obi-Wan or Darth Vader in the original films.
Yeah.
And that's one thing they did actually do.
It makes perfect sense doing that.
Because I thought what was odd though was that in Episode 4 when R2-D2 sees Obi-Wan, does he actually recognize him? Or
it's a bit that's interesting. Well, the thing is, what interests me is when when he kind of like says, they talk and he reveals that he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he says, "Oh, well, a droid must belong to you." He then says, "Oh, I don't recall ever owning a droid before." And it's almost like either Obi-Wan's forgotten about R2, or it's entirely possible. It's an interesting thing, but one of the things that interests me as well is like how did R2 know where to find Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, he just seemed to know how to find him, and that's an interesting concept because he goes to Tatooine by sheer luck, and yet he has a bit of a concept of looking for Obi-Wan but Obi-Wan doesn't know who R2 is. He doesn't remember.
Yeah, well, it probably could be entirely possible that maybe Obi-Wan put some data into R2 to let him know where he was, just in case he's ever needed again. But coincidentally, at the beginning, the attack on the rebel ship, coincidentally, they're just outside Tatooine and they land on it.
I mean, the interesting thing is, with Star Wars in general, there's a lot of the things that happen in Star Wars are very much, some of them are sheer luck. Others, you could argue, some of them could well be the will of the Force.
Yeah.
It's always talked about the will of the Force, and obviously the Force is a thing that affects everything. And a lot of people kind of have this theory that, you know, the fact that R2-D2 and C-3PO were on the ship when it got attacked, they just happened to be over Tatooine, wasn't coincidence. It was the will of the Force. Like, you know, it was sending them to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, one thing I found that I think was completely bizarre in The Phantom Menace is that we find out that, you know, young Anakin was the one that built C-3PO. And yeah, R2 was actually one of Queen Amidala's battle droids, which was a fine introduction story for him.
Well, it makes it, the interesting thing is C-3PO is actually a bit of a mystery. It's not actually known who built him originally, because Anakin actually doesn't technically build him. If you look in, there's an actual story, in the comics, it's officially canon. Basically, C-3PO, when Anakin finds him, he's actually scrapped. He's in a scrap pile. And
yeah,
he's, like,
in Watto's junkyard.
Yeah, he was pretty badly damaged. So it's a bit of a mystery as to who built C-3PO originally.
Oh, so Anakin's just repairing him then?
Yeah, pretty much. But there's a thing with Star Wars. There's always going to be another mystery.
Yeah. As I say, I don't know. I think that the more Disney bring out, the more stuff that comes our way, it's just going to reveal more and more mysteries. It's going to ask more and more questions, and maybe that's the way. Some of it should just not be explained. Should just be a mystery.
Yeah, you've got a point there. That's exactly a good point. It's going to be interesting to see what the future of Star Wars will hold. I mean, what they may possibly come up with later on.
I say, if Rey becomes a full Jedi by Episode 9, if she's going to truly be the last Jedi, will she train a new generation? Or but I know Daisy Ridley said she doesn't want to do any more after Episode 9. So,
well, I'm not too sure what the overall end game is, but I think with Episode 9, they might do like a restart thing. I mean, who knows? There's been a lot of kind of concepts as to what will happen later on.
But I can't imagine them reboot. I can't imagine a reboot getting anything but a load of slack, even if they made it good. I think because Star Wars is such a classic. I mean, it's like the Wizard of Oz, you know. I think if they were attempting to reboot it, retell the story from scratch, it wouldn't go down well. It might be a good-looking film and have a good retelling of the story, but I can't see them doing that. I mean, they might do it, but
you're right. I mean, I don't think Disney will will keep. I mean, they could make many Star Wars films as they want. I mean, I don't quite know what the overall end game is for it, but they are definitely going to be. They're definitely going to be doing another trilogy after Episode 9.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you know, but can you imagine that? You know, you have a 12 DVD or Blu-ray box set coming out originally, and probably with a load of bonus discs as well. Can you imagine buying that in several years to come?
Oh yeah, and that'd be interesting. It's just.
Do you have?
Hmm?
Do you have the films on Blu-ray?
No. I have the original Star Wars films on DVD and the new ones on DVD and the prequel trilogy on DVD. The more recent ones I have got on Blu-ray, but I don't have all of them on Blu-ray. Just the new ones.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the 6 DVD box set of the prequels and the original trilogy when it came out, I think in 2011. I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched any of the original films, but I want to watch them again. But I really want to see the. I don't see. I've been looking around my DVD collection to see if I can find my copies of the you know, of the original theatrical cuts, because I want to watch them. I really hope that they bring those to Blu-ray, because Disney would do it anyway just for more money.
Yeah.
And I've heard several rumors that it's coming. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I dare say it will happen.
It'll probably happen eventually. I mean, no doubt they've got a game changer for it. There'll be some plan for it.
Yeah, I've heard it was the Star Wars special editions that sparked Disney starting doing things to all their animated classics, like they did all their special edition re-releases. That's what.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
That is true. I mean, there's a lot more going on. I mean, the thing with Star Wars, it'll always be around, but it'll probably. It's kind of hard to say. The thing is, the problem we've got right now with Star Wars is there's effectively there's two types of fans now. There are the old school fans who grew up with Star Wars, and the new school fans who have probably just started discovering it because of the new films.
yeah, it's kind of gone on through 3 generations, kind of now, hasn't it? Because you've got the people that saw it, you know, more like young teenagers, like our parents would have seen them. And then you got then you got sort of our generation kids who were 90s kids who were around when they were re-released. But now so many people our age have kids of their own, and they're being introduced to them.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just it's a franchise that continues and goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I bet you one day they'll remake the originals. It'll happen.
Yeah, they probably will. I mean, I'll probably definitely see them out of interest, and but the truth is, I can't see that getting a good reception. I think definitely the first generation fans will just laugh in their faces if they do it.
It's part of the other issue as well. There's so much going on in overall in the film world, and one of the biggest problems is remakes. Remakes tend to be a big issue.
Hollywood are doing it now. Hollywood, they're just doing it to sort of, they seem to be struggling to come up with all these new ideas. So let's just remake old ones. Let's get a whole new load of merchandise out. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you know that this 8th Harry Potter book that's a play, Warner Brothers are now making that movie.
I know.
And now they've got this Fantastic Beasts franchise, which isn't bad. I liked the first Fantastic Beasts film, and the trailer for the second one looks good, but I can see why it's not had the same level of success as Harry Potter, because it's more or less just a cash in.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fair point. But yeah, it's a thing. You'll never please everyone.
No, you won't. That's the thing. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, there are reboots I like. I mean, there are very few. There are very few reboots that I've seen that I would say are as good as the originals or better than the originals. But I still say some of them are very good. I mean, as we were talking about that, that Power Rangers film was a good reboot for older fans to see.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a more realistic adaptation of a very cheesy 90s kid show.
Yeah. Yeah, the remake effectively, in my mind, remade it, as I said before, with a very modern feel. That was what I liked about it.
Yeah, they did.
I think, no, I mean, I think the only real thing, I don't say there's anything I didn't like about that film, because it generally, as I said, it was a realistic remake.
It was. I mean, the only sad problem was because it was the origin story, and they originally had plans, I think, to do about 5 sequels. That it wasn't until the last half an hour of the film that you got to see the Rangers in action.
Yeah.
And really, it was very well built up to. But yeah, I think the majority of people felt restless just waiting for it, because that's what you want to see in a Power Rangers movie.
True. That is true.
But that Megazord fight, that Zord fight was brilliant.
Yeah, that was good. I think my only real complaint about the film was that they turned Goldar into some sort of weird gold summoned demon thing, which didn't really quite work for me. It's about the only real thing I could say that I had a complaint about.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what they did with Rita Repulsa. That the explained story of how she actually had the green power coin was because she was the original Green Ranger, and that Zordon was the Red Ranger, that there had been previous Rangers. They did that well. And there's lots of stuff lying around of what they would potentially have done for sequels, but due to its poor box office success, it's probably just not likely to happen. Or if it does, it'll be an even lower budget film.
It is part of the overall issue. Yeah, you're looking at something which, unfortunately, not everyone remembers Power Rangers.
No. But I remember seeing, back in the 90s, there were some parents that wanted it taken off the air instantly because they said it was a bad influence on children. But the argument the band's producers made was that, kids in America, seeing cowboys and Indians shoot each other.
Yeah.
And then yet you have a sci-fi fantasy series. Which is...
I got in trouble at school for liking Power Rangers. Largely, when I went to school, the junior school I went to was a Christian junior school, C of E.
Yeah.
And, Power Rangers was bad, but watching a film where you watch a man be nailed to a cross in rather gruesome detail is apparently perfectly acceptable. So why not it out?
Well, what I remember doing, what everyone used to get into trouble for, certainly back in the Mighty Morphin days, lots of kids would used to play Power Rangers. They'd copy all the stunts.
Never did that. I did, however, create my own world where I took Power Rangers and Star Wars and kind of even a little bit of Terminator and RoboCop and matched it all together and created my own little world, which I imagined up. I even wrote a hell of a lot of stories set in that world.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be good. I mean, this is the thing about Ready Player One. See, if virtual reality gaming, gets to the point where, you can sort of join through the internet and you can see each other in a world around you, it'd be good to see everyone's kind of ideal character coming together.
I think we'll get there. Well, to be frank, they're already working on it in Japan.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there. I think it isn't a case of, if we'll get there, it'll be when we get there. I can see it happening within the next 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, no, it wouldn't be the same as actually being in a fictional world. You're just you're in an illusion. But
that's true. So, are you? Where are you up to on MLP season 4? Where are you at the moment?
I still haven't watched any more. I think this weekend I will continue watching. I've been mainly giving my attention to other stuff. But yes, I will continue watching because it's just an easy and very simple, charming show, and it's not hard to remember what happens in it because I watch and do so many different things, but because MLP is so simple, it's very easy to follow. And
well, Hasbro, I'm pretty sure you can forgive me. I've started playlist.
Yeah.
I love this song. It's my go-to song when I'm feeling down.
Yeah. So if you could create a virtual sort of world, if you had like a virtual reality game where you could create your own world and go around, and would it be a virtual form of Equestria?
Here's what I'd like. If we had something like the Oasis and you could create anything you want in the virtual world, I would probably create my own avatar. I don't quite know what I'd look like, but I'd have my own avatar. And then I would have 2 things with me that I would create that would be my traveling companions in the game world. One would be Princess Luna.
Mm-hmm.
And my second would be Saphira. I don't know. You probably don't know who Saphira is.
No, not yet. But
no, it's not MLP. Are you familiar with an author called Christopher Paolini?
I've heard his name. Yes, I'm not familiar with stuff, but I have heard his name.
Well, Saphira is basically the dragon in the books. And if I was in a universe a game where you could create anything, I would have Princess Luna and Saphira as my 2 kind of like companions in the game.
Yeah, I can't. I would probably do an avatar as kind of like a tokusatsu hero, like either a Power Ranger or a Kamen Rider. But I don't know what sidekicks I would want. Probably some giant robots, my own interpretation of Zords.
Well, it isn't. The thing about online stuff in general is that there are games out there where you can create stuff. I mean, hell, have you ever heard of a game called Space Engineers?
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
I mean, I've not played it. I have heard of it. I'm actually thinking about getting hold of it sometime this year because it has been out for quite a number of years. But basically, in the game, you can create ships and bases and things. You can create anything. And games like that have always fascinated me. Damn, this is good chocolate.
You opened your Easter egg.
Yeah. That's good.
trying to think. I think over the weekend at some point. What are you doing over the weekend, Sam? Are you working?
No. I'm going out Saturday. I'm going to go and buy some more shoes. I need some more.
All right. Maybe we should think about getting together during the day. See if Nosey's available, because he said he'll be available at the weekend. And maybe we should do a live stream during the day. I normally go out on Saturday night.
We can do.
Yeah. I mean, I say doing something like this, getting to talk to you guys, is a great thing for me to do. It's a great thing to fill the time with.
I don't know about without that. Does that all right?
So what are you going to do? Are you turning in soon, or do you plan to do anything else for the night?
I haven't really got anything planned per se. It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. I think. Well, maybe we should call it there, because I've got to be up in about 6 hours and 7 minutes to get ready to go to maths class in the morning. Well, I've got to get up, go to Leicester, because I'm currently doing my maths, and I do the class on Friday morning, and then that's all. And I come home. I normally get some rest, and then get ready to enjoy a Friday night.
Trust. Yeah, well, we could definitely do something sometime on Saturday, mate.
Yeah, well, that would be great. I say at some point I will be definitely getting back into work of some kind. What I'll be doing and where I'll be doing it is all I don't know. But
anyway, but yeah, certainly would be, mate. Well, we'll have to sort something out. We'll definitely do something Saturday.
yeah,
I would like to do
then.
a TFN one. But
Yeah, we'll do that.
Like, maybe a few days before we go, do a pre-TFN video chat. That'd be worth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would suggest doing it the night before for an hour or two. But obviously, I don't know how busy you'll be with you. Do you normally pack the night before, or do you pack a few days before you go?
I pack the night before, day before, but it's not going to take me like 10 minutes. It's not going to take me long to pack.
Yeah. I definitely won't pack as many T-shirts this year, because I will definitely buy a few shirts while I'm there.
Oh, yeah, I always do.
Where was it you got that lunar shirt you've got?
Redbubble. It's a website, mate. There's a website called Redbubble. They do custom stuff. Give me 2 secs. I'll pop a link up on here for you. Because there's loads of different creators on there, but I'll put a link up to the person you need, because I'm going to buy some more off there later this year that I'll be wearing at TFN. Right, let me just throw a link. There we are. I knew I'd find it. It's not that difficult to find. There you go. I'll just throw a link up in the chat.
Thanks. Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need. If you follow that link, it'll take you right to the website.
Thanks for that, mate. Oh, just one more thing. You said you sent me that link to that company that offers all that work from home.
Oh yeah, I'll throw one up. Put one up here now for you.
Yeah. Oh, I really appreciate that, mate.
Yeah, I used to work for them. They were they were like my most recent employer until I started working at where I'm working now. But
were you made redundant from them, or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they're still around, still employing and everything. The reason I got made redundant was because they lost the contracts that I was on. That's the only reason I lost the job.
Blast.
That's the
That's
other
not
one
good, is
for you there. So I've got a link up for the Redbubble for the t-shirts, and then the link up for the company. It's called Sonsei.
Yeah, there they are. I've got them. Yeah, see them. All right. Well, it's been great to talk to you. Obviously, John and Tony as well. Yeah, as I say, it has been so great just to talk to you about all this different stuff, and so I will definitely see you probably Saturday from this side.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Okay, so I think I'm ready to sign out now.
No worries. Take care. I'll see you later, mate.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.